this not what I wanted?
What's up and what's going on, everyone? I appreciate everybody being here tonight. Everyone that is already here in the chat, I do see you guys. Appreciate you guys, and it's just myself tonight. I actually gave everyone the night off today. One, because tomorrow is such a big news day that we are going to cover. There's a lot of things we're going to talk about tomorrow. But today, as I woke up and put on Twitter, today I have time. And today I'm going to come in as meekly as I possibly can. I'm going to try to represent Recast in the very best light that I can, so that we don't give the anti-recasters any ammo to use and say, see, I told you they were this way. But anyway, there's a lot that we're going to talk about today. I can assure you of that. There's a lot that we're going to talk about in way of Recast, in way of T'Challa, in way of Wakanda, and not just in way of those things. That's at face value. That's if I'm coming in at face value. That's what I'm talking about there. But see, what I'm talking about here is everyone continues to say it's not that deep. I have heard so many people telling others on Twitter, it's not that deep. And quick question here. I don't know if this is anybody else. Let me know in the chat. Is anybody else's Twitter bugging right now? Or is it just mine? Because I cannot access my notifications on Twitter. It keeps telling me something went wrong, try again. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But let me know if your Twitter's messing up. So this morning, on Twitter, and not just this morning, it's actually started last night. I believe I tweeted this out last night. Okay, see, Jeezy said yours is messing up too. Okay, so it's not just mine. I believe I tweeted this out last night. So Twitter is letting me see some things. But before I get into any of that, let me say first off, appreciate Naries, appreciate Gray, Josiah, Andre, Zengbeto, Miss Mesa. I appreciate Raptor Cloak, appreciate Xavier, appreciate Official Liam G, C Jeezy, Joshua, everybody watching. Appreciate Pookie Wood. Appreciate all you guys being here, and appreciate you guys rocking with us tonight. Professor Film Fan, appreciate you being here, my brother. Appreciate you guys being here. So if you do follow us on Twitter, you follow the channel's Twitter account, then you know that today there has been some things. As I said, it started last night because I tweeted this out last night. I simply quote retweeted the picture, and let me scroll down so you guys can see that too. I simply quote retweeted this picture last night, and it is fan art. Let me get to it, sorry. There it is. I quote retweeted this last night, and I said, entire MCU BP franchise is a joke. Pushing for this, but not for the recasting of the franchise's main character. Clown behavior. Now, when I said that last night, again, when you come in at face value, when you don't understand that the deeper conversations that do surround recast T'Challa, because it's not just, I think when people look at the hashtag itself, hashtag recast T'Challa, that have not been in this space, that aren't, tuning into different pro recast content creators' lives and listening to the things that they have to say, why this character is important, X, Y, and Z, the things we've all heard, things we've all said. I think when they see the hashtag, they immediately think, let me turn this on, sorry. I think when they see the hashtag, they immediately think to themselves, all we do is discuss T'Challa being back on screen. Now, obviously, that's the bulk of what we discuss. But our at least over here, and I've seen on D-Reels, I've seen on Theo B's, I've seen Chill tweets about it. E-Man, Just My Opinions, Brandon, everybody. Nico, all of us pro recasters that are content creators, they've all said the same things. And I think when they think that's, obviously that's the bulk of what we talk about. The bulk of what we talk about is T'Challa being back on screen. But we do have deep conversations. It gets deeper than that. It gets more real than just the fact of a fictional character being on screen. We talk about the traumas and tropes within our community. We talk about why the character is important to the community. In that conversation, it gets deep. So no, we don't just sit over here and discuss ways for T'Challa to be back on screen. Obviously, that is the bulk of the hashtag. But like I said, there are layers to the hashtag. So when I tweeted this out and said what I said about it, the people that come in at face value with recast T'Challa said it's just fan art. It's not that big a deal. Actually, I can actually show some of them. Because I think it was a bit confused on the statement that I made here. That's the first one. This dude said, dog, this is a fan art and the kids are their other selves in other movies. I said, no, I understood the picture, but I also understand the weirdo conversations wanting to ship the Cuckoo Khan and Shuri. That's what this picture is. Now, here's the thing too. I'm not shitting on they fan art. You can draw whatever the hell it is you want to draw. I think I said that on Twitter. Draw what you want to draw. Put what you want to put. What I'm stating to here is the conversation around the inspired fan art. The things that people are saying. The conversations that we're having. It has nothing to do with the fan art. It never had anything to do with the fan art. It's the weirdo conversations that take place around it. Now, I've not commented ever on the Shuri Namor stuff. Now, we've had people in our chat say things about it, but have I come out and said anything about it? No, I haven't. One, I didn't give a damn. because it didn't happen. And it was one of those things like, I'm like, now I did read the original article. But I read that article and thought to myself, okay, whatever. It didn't happen. You didn't do it. I'm glad it is what it is. But it's the people that are out there wanting it to happen, wanting this relationship to happen, knowing, again, now that Namor killed Queen Ramonda. Now, here's the thing for me, too. I kept telling the people I was talking to on Twitter last night, it's deeper than that, it's deeper than that. Yeah, it's deeper than... I'm not worried about their fanship. You can have your little fanship. Whatever, it's weird, but do what you want to do. But the conversations, again, that we are having about Recast T'Challa are deeper than that. So, again, here's how I'm going to do this today. I'm going to go through the things from Twitter first, and then after that, I'm briefly going to break down, because I don't know who watches. There are currently 39 people here. If you're not chatting, I don't know who's watching. So there could be some people that on Twitter that I was arguing with today that might be seeing this and say, hey, I want to see what they're talking about, whatever. They could be watching. I don't know who's watching. I don't know who's going to watch this in a replay. So I want to break down really what Recast T'Challa really is, the layers to it. So maybe people can come in and have an understanding of what it is we're screaming, why it is we're screaming. It's not just simply, again, I'm going to get to that. Hold on. Let's start with the Twitter stuff here. So I tweeted out this morning. And I'll go to that so y'all can see that too. I tweeted out this morning and said, understand that there are layers to Recast T'Challa, to the Recast T'Challa conversation. There's the overall conversation of wanting to see the character back on screen. Then there's the deeper layers of the conversation as to why the character should be recast. I went on to say, it's not about... Sorry, it moved me. 1 second. It's not about pushing an agenda or being a toxic fanboy. It's about positive black representation, not only for our community to see, but for the world to see. Us and our black excellence. Not see our stereotypes, tropes, and traumas continuously told for viewers' entertainment. There's a much deeper conversation being had in many spaces. You simply have to be willing, with an open mind, to have an educated and civilized conversation about why Recast T'Challa, the first leading black superhero in publishing, is so important, and why these conversations are so deep. I had this one quote retweeted, and I want to read you this here. And this is where I'm going to actually start all of this. Now, I can't act... Twitter's being so weird. Ah, damn. It's not even letting me go that far down. That sucks. Okay. Damn. Really? Okay. If I can... I'm going to try to surmise and remember exactly what it is that he said here. But it was quote retweeted, what I said. And he said, unpopular opinion... man, that sucks. I cannot pull that shit up. Everybody's Twitter is bugging. So he goes, unpopular opinion, and then said something like, T'Challa's going to be back, and with everything that they're doing, it's just be be patient. He's coming back. This is nonsense. I wish Twitter was working. But the question I had to that, because I was going to reply, but I didn't reply back to what he said. And the reason I didn't reply back to what he said is because I wanted to ask, and I mean this seriously. Everybody, I've seen so many people saying, he's going to be back, he's going to be back, he's going to be back. Please tell me in any way, that Marvel has alluded to the character is coming back. In no way, shape, or form has Marvel alluded to that the character is going to be coming back. The fact that we have so many people coming in with so sure of themselves, saying that the character is going to be coming back, just calm down, you guys need to chill, this is toxic, blah 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 blah. What is alluded to that the character's coming back besides TJ? Because TJ's not the character coming back. That's not a recast. We've talked about that. But it's the people that come in so sure of themselves, the people that, God, I wish Twitter was working, bro. This is actually really fucking up everything I had planned. Give me 1 second. I keep getting... That's wild, bro. That is wild. That's okay. 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 I can't really go through the Twitter shit that I wanted to go through because Twitter's just not loading at all. Wait a minute. Is it now? Hold on. I think we might be good. Hold on. We might be good. Okay. All right. It's at least it's working on my phone. I don't know what the fuck it's doing on the screen, but it's working on my phone. So, first dude said, let me find that tweet. Bear with me 1 second. Here we go. All right. Unpopular opinion. T'Challa was recast, and with time, they will have him at the forefront again. Rather it's the kid or whoever as an adult later. It's all a fictional world where Coogler showed black excellence via cinema and honored one of our greatest black actors to date. Okay. Yeah, Twitter's working. Twitter's back. We're good. We're good. So I can put that on the screen for y'all too. We're good. First of all, again, I asked that question of what articles, what news outlets, what scoopers, who has alluded to that T'Challa? Who's given any information, any inkling that T'Challa's coming back? And then he goes on to say, rather it's the child or whoever as an adult, it's a fictional world where Coogler showed black excellence via cinema. So that brings me to what I tweeted earlier, because somebody told me that the Black Panther franchise is the most impactful franchise within the MCU. You could have said that in 2018. In 2018, that could have been a statement that was made. But as we're sitting here in 2022, about to step into 2023 after reviewing and watching Wakanda Forever, that's not a statement that you can make. In no way is the Black Panther franchise still impactful. What it was impactful. What Chadwick brought to the screen as T'Challa was impactful. An all-black cast was impactful. You knew how impactful it was to the culture because it made $1.3 billion. That film was impactful. We're always talking about numbers. We're always talking. I keep hearing so many things about the box office. Darius, did you see this in the box office? Darius, did you see? Not that I give a damn about the box office anymore, but since we're talking about the box office, numbers don't lie. Your second film wasn't impactful. The direction that the franchise is going is not impactful. The things that we're hearing coming from the heads, from Nate Moore and Ryan Coogler, it's not impactful. You got the dude that goes on to say, Coogler showed black excellence via cinema and honored one of our greatest black actors to date. Chad was an amazing actor. And yes, I agree with that. One of our greatest black actors to date. But in what way did they honor Chad? And this is before I get to the breakdown, since Twitter's back up and working. In what way did Chad get honored? I've said this many times. Chadwick helped write the original script. He helped write what was going to be BP2. The film where Ryan in the first interview said, it's a T'Challa vehicle. It's diving deep into his psyche. We're going to learn a lot more about T'Challa. Chadwick put his, I'm sure, heart, soul into that script. Because there are interviews, which I'm going to play, where Chadwick has stated the importance of the character. Where Chadwick has said why this character deserves to be on screen, whether he plays him or not. In what way did they honor Chad? He put his heart, his soul, his everything, I'm sure. I have no proof of that, but I'm sure he did, into that final script. In the way that Ryan Coogler and Nate Moore and Marvel decided to honor him was to throw out the man's last piece of work. The last thing that he put his heart and soul into for a character that he truly believed was important and deserves to be on screen. They took that, crumbled it up, took their feelings and inserted it in its place. So no, they didn't honor Chad in any way. The only thing that I give them that honors Chad was the beginning Marvel crawl. That's it. The rest of that film, you did nothing to honor Chad. And then said T'Challa was recast, and with time, they will have him at the forefront again. And I'm sick of having to explain that as well. TJ is not T'Challa. And I've said this so many times. I don't know where the information that T'Challa is coming back is coming from, because the only thing that Marvel has shown me is that TJ is the future. TJ's going to be at the forefront. And TJ is not T'Challa. TJ is not the franchise's main character. So I'm a little confused there where that, like I said, where the information's coming from that T'Challa's coming back. And then we had, I want to make sure I get dudes, what dude was saying. Okay. And then you got people saying, again, the same things. We had him on screen for this long. He's done this and this and that, blah, 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 blah. Now let's break this thing down from the very beginning. I've said this before. Other pro recasters have said this before. I'm going to go ahead and get this pulled up so everybody can see it. Because there are some people that are new. There are some people that are new. This is new to them. Because again, anybody that is not on the pro recast side comes in at face value at all of this stuff. Everything that we're saying. So, let's go to the very beginning. Let me get this, why this isn't pulled. There we go. Let's go to change.org. Let's start from the top. A petition was made by E-Man over at E-Man's Movie Reviews. And I'm talking to anybody new. I'm talking to anybody new. That's what this was for. Back in 2020, Marvel. Nah. Let me start over. I apologize. Bear with me one moment. All right. Okay. All right. Let me start that over. It was back in 1966. Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, riding around. And they noticed so many black kids read our comics. But we don't have anybody that looks like them. This was during the height of the civil rights movement. And again, this is for anybody that's new. And while in the height of the civil rights movement, there were so many different things going on, obviously, within our community, being done to our community. But Jack Kirby and Stan Lee and Marvel wanted to bring, well, let me not even say Marvel, I apologize. And yes, happy birthday to Stan Lee. Happy 100th birthday to Stan Lee. Jack Kirby, riding around, sees the black kids reading comics. Nobody looks like them. So he decides, I'm going to create the character of T'Challa, the Black Panther. Marvel went against the name, the Black Panther, because of the Black Panthers during that time. Again, this is why the character is tethered to our community. It's deeper than your face value shit that you come in here on. So make sure that you take a pencil and paper and you're paying very close attention. Marvel went against Jack Kirby for the name. And he said, no, I'm purposely naming it the Black Panther for those reasons. So then he went on to create T'Challa. And the first time that we saw T'Challa was right here, when he showed up in the Fantastic Four's issue. That was the first time we saw him. And then he later on went and got his own issues. The fourth character created by Marvel. The first leading black superhero in publishing, period. But I'm going to go ahead and let you hear it from Jack Kirby. And hear what Jack Kirby had to say about why he created this character.
The 60s and 70s expanded comics as well as minds.
Let me start that over. I apologize. I apologize. Bear with me. Go ahead and hear Jack Kirby again.
The 60s and 70s expanded comics as well as minds.
I suddenly discovered that there weren't no blacks in comics, that nobody had made a story about blacks. I felt that blacks had to be represented in comics as well as everywhere else. So I drew the Black Panther. I drew him as a powerful and virtuous character.
Whoa, okay. So when we say it, y'all, maybe they don't understand it. Maybe it's not understood when it's coming from the hashtag. Maybe the hashtag already puts up a wall for some of you anti-recasters when you come in. So the hashtag automatically makes you lash out with the way that you guys do when you come into these spaces. But maybe hearing it from someone else might wake you up a little bit. He said it right there. So let's hear it one more time.
The 60s and 70s expanded comics as well as minds.
I suddenly discovered that there weren't no blacks in comics, that nobody had made a story about blacks. I felt that blacks had to be represented.
that there were no blacks in comics. Nobody made a story about blacks. He felt blacks had to be represented. It's deeper. It's deeper than the hashtag. When you come in and you say, "Oh, it's not that deep," again, what a privilege it must be to look at a community and tell them that their issues or the things that they're complaining about aren't that deep. Representation matters. It mattered then. It matters now. And I've had this conversation many times too, because I can already hear it. Don't come at me with "there's representation in the MCU." Don't come at me with, "Oh, because you got Sam Wilson always on caps left, that there's your black representation." Tell me about Sam. Tell me about Sam. Don Cheadle came out a couple weeks ago and said he wishes that the audience and even himself knew more about the character of James Rhodes because he's not being represented. Y'all think throwing a speck on the screen is representation, and that's a privilege for you. That's not representation. As Jack Kirby just said, there were no blacks in comics. He felt blacks needed to be represented, so he created T'Challa the Black Panther. It's deeper than what you're coming in thinking at face value. Then hear the rest of it.
In comics as well as everywhere else. So I drew the Black Panther. I drew him as a powerful and virtuous character.
A powerful and virtuous character. Again, since you don't want to hear it from me, you don't want to hear it from anyone else on Twitter, you don't want to hear it from any of the other pro-recast content creators, so maybe you'll hear it from the people themselves, because this always gets negated. Every time somebody tweets or says, this is not what Chadwick wanted. Chadwick said what he wanted. Nobody ever plays on that. Like the anti-recasters, when you say that, or even I've seen the video even shared on Twitter, like nobody then comes back and says, "Oh, well, Chadwick did say that." And again, it's deeper than what you're looking at. The character is tethered to the community. It's about seeing strong black male representation on screen. It's about seeing black excellence in a positive light on screen. Not the things that were, like I said, as far as anybody wants to see emancipation, that's great. But every time that we are on screen, it is the help, it's the villain, it's the absentee father, or somebody's slave. Or a trauma film. Every single time. And that's what we're trying to get at here. We don't know anything about Sam or any of them, and we're not going to learn anything about Sam from what it sounds like. Sounds like this is going to be a stacked film, where once again Sam's going to be on the left. But you had Jack Kirby come out and do what he did and make in creating the Black Panther. And throughout that time, the Black Panther stood as basically our Superman within the black community. I've said this so many times. And again, I want to make sure that I'm hitting all the angles here. I want to make sure I'm hitting everything. I've shown this. But I want to make sure. When these kids in the civil rights movement, during the civil rights movement, were reading these books, they waited 50 plus years for this character to be put on screen. We have viewers, older viewers, that are constantly saying thank you for mentioning that we've been waiting 50 plus years for this character to be put on screen. And for people like dude that commented back to me and said, be patient, be patient, be patient. Again, what a luxury, what a privilege to be able to say, be patient, the character will be back. Be patient. Not everybody has that patience. Not everybody has that time to be patient. Some of our viewers, as I just said, are older viewers that have been waiting 50 plus years for the character to be put on screen. You dangled the character in their faces just to have the character taken away. To make the selfish decision that you're not going to recast the character because you believe that Chadwick's rendition transcends any rendition. And now these people that have been waiting as long as they've been waiting to see the character on screen are now not going to get to see their hero on screen. Don't get to see their Superman on screen because you want to tell them to be patient while they decide the muddy mess that they've gonna, or however they're gonna clean up this muddy mess that they've made by not recasting the character. So, you have, again, I want to make sure I'm hitting all the angles. You have what Jack Kirby said. You have the kids, the people that have waited 50 plus years for this character to be put on screen. Now, let's go to what Chad himself has said. Because this always comes up before I even play it. You don't know his family. This whole movement is selfish. This entire movement is toxic. You guys sound like gatekeeping fanboys. You do know that the studio knew Chad better than you guys. You guys don't know him at all. They know what he would have wanted. Let them tell the stories. You're not writing the stories. They're writing the stories. They know these stories better than you know these stories. All of Marvel has been giving us nothing but bangers. Why are you guys so mad? And every single time that comes up, we all say the same things. This is not what Chadwick wanted. Chadwick has stated what he wanted. Chadwick has said in many interviews that, again, the role to actually, you know, let's play what Chadwick said. Let's play what Chad said, so you can hear it from his mouth instead of mine. Hold on. Here we go.
We're in a time right now where I love it and relish the fact that when I shot Black. We're in a time right now where I love it and relish the fact that when I shot Black Panther, I'm shooting it with Michael B. Jordan. Right. And we can coexist. But there's this thing of, if you're making movies and you're doing well, people start to say, oh, he's the next Denzel, or he's that. Right. Making your success be based upon the idea that there can only be one of you. And we as actors, we talk about this. We talk about how debilitating that is, how negative it is, how, you know, it's also frightening, you know what I'm saying, to a certain degree, because you feel like it divides and conquers. It makes us...
Pits you against each other.
Puts us against each other, yeah. Exactly. So I root for Idris Elba. I root for David and Michael, and I root for everybody, because I know if they do well, the truth is, it presents an opportunity for me.
It's always tough when we lose someone people greatly respected. But the value of the work really means that they live forever. And that was one of the things that when when Chadwick Boseman and I were texting. This was April last year. He had been ill, but people were commenting on his weight loss. And he said to me, and I didn't reveal this until after he died, but he said in the text, I want them to see the role and not see me. He said, that is the job of an actor.
Right.
Where it's not about me, it's about the role.
Right.
And people remember the role and what you did with it.
So no, it's not us. It's not us being gatekeeping, toxic fanboys that don't know what we're talking about. It's not us trying to force some agenda. We've been told that. It's a simple fact that the character should remain on screen. It's a simple fact of what the character means to our community. It's a simple fact that, like Chadwick just said, like you just heard him say, or from the text message, I want them to see the role and not me. So no, it's not. It's although like the dude said up at the top. Make sure I get his wording correctly, exactly what he said. And honored one of the greatest black actors to date. Chad is definitely one of our greatest black actors to date. But he never wanted it to stop with him. He wanted it to continue. He wanted us to see T'Challa and not see Chadwick. But then you got the weirdos out there, the anti-recasters out there, that think that they are one and the same, when they are absolutely not. The character is the character. These franchise characters live on. They outlive us. That's why you've had so many actors as Superman. That's why you've had so many actors as Batman, and will continue to. That's why you have so many Jokers, and will continue to. That's why you had the privilege of sitting down and seeing 3 Spider-Man on screen, and will again. Because these characters are bigger than life. They are bigger than us. They are going to outlive us. To be told to the next generation, in the next generation, in the next generation. And that is what Chadwick wanted. Chadwick understood that the character of T'Challa means so much more than just any old superhero. The character of T'Challa is for little black boys, young black men, to look up to and be inspired. For the community, the black community, to be able to look at Wakanda, an uncolonized nation, to be able to leave our tropes in the rearview mirror, to be able to leave our reality in the rearview mirror, and be able to look at a fictional world and say, damn, look what we could be. If only. Yes, we know that there is no place called Wakanda. Yes, we know that there is no place. There's no metal called vibranium. Just as well as we know that there's no talking raccoon flying around in space with a tree. But when we step into our fantasy worlds, when we step into our comic books, our movies and theaters, it is time to suspend belief. The same way that you suspend belief when you're watching a Guardians of the Galaxy film. Or better yet, everyone just went and saw Avatar. The film has passed $1 billion, what you wanted Wakanda Forever to do but didn't. You were able to suspend your belief and watch blue people on another planet talking, communicating with their tails, or whatever else it is the Avatar, the Na'vi folks do. And you watch that film in awe. That's how we feel when we watch the Black Panther, when we're watching the BP franchise, at least the first one, when we're reading the comics and the source material, we are in awe of what our people could and should be. We are in awe of the black excellence being shown. But we wanted it to go from publishing to the screen. Why? Because, as I've said before, on the screen, we're only portrayed in one way. We wanted to see not just us, but other communities, other places in the world, like China, who covered Chadwick's face in their BP poster because black doesn't work there. And I'm going to get to why black, hold on, taking John Boyega and shrinking him down in the Force Awakens poster. Other countries look at us and see the stereotypes created here in America. Other communities look at us and our stereotypes. Don't act like you haven't seen it. The clenching of the purses. The sly remarks being made. I told you I coach AAU basketball. Had a group of white parents come up to my boys and ask them, are your fathers coming? Are any of your dads going to be watching the game today? This was after we beat the hell out of their team. Are any of your dads going to even know what you did? You want to know why they use that joke? Because of the stereotypes put on our community. Because of the stereotypes that our fathers are absent in our households. Because of the stereotypes that, ooh, dad went out for a carton of milk and some cigarettes and just never fucking came back. Don't act like you don't know the shit. Don't act like you don't hear the stuff being said. That's what we're talking about. We hear it enough in our real lives. At a fucking basketball game. At that time, my boys were in the 7th grade. I'll never forget that game because it turned into some shit. We're at a basketball game. We're at the movies. We're at the checkout line at the grocery store. We are constantly reminded of our stereotypes. In reality. So I'm asking you anti-recasters. I'm asking you people that might be secretly watching. What makes you think we want to go sit down in a fantasy film where we're supposed to suspend our beliefs, where we're supposed to leave our traumas, tropes, and stereotypes at the door, and have that morbidly inserted for viewers' entertainment in a fantasy Marvel film? That's not something I want to see. That's not something people from our community want to see. We want to see those stories, these black excellent stories told on screen. And not just, again, for us, but for others as well. So that we can stop being looked at as the help, as the mugger, as the absentee father, as the villain. And we can start being looked at as the hero in a positive light. I can hear it. You have Sam Wilson. You have James Rhodes. You had Wakanda Forever still portrayed black excellence. Did it. And even in Ryan Coogler's newest idea for the script that he came out and discussed, that really was, as I said in that video, it wasn't any better. Why was it not any better? Because even, you're missing the point, man. God. And again, the reason that it's not going to translate to some of y'all out there, because your privilege allows for it not to translate. And I'm talking about some of the white folks out there too. Your privilege allows for it not to translate. What is privilege? What does that look like? Like, bro, how can I put that, man? I'm sure you looked at Ryan Coogler's come out and say what he said about the script, the new script or whatever. And you saw the co-parenting as a positive thing. That's not... How come Tony and Pep didn't have to co-parent? Give me some other parents. We don't see Hawkeye. We don't see Hawkeye and his wife co-parenting. We see them under the same roof. We see them having holidays together. Promising his kids he'll be home for Christmas. Promising his family he'll be home for Christmas. Positive stories. We saw positivity with Tony and Pep. Building up to Morgan. Building up to the cottage in the woods. Where they had everything. The positivity in their family. You're missing the point. I don't want to see T'Challa co-parenting. I don't want to see that on screen. We see it in our realities. How come we're not seeing some of these other Marvel characters co-parent? So you're missing it. You're missing it. And again, maybe even now you're still missing it. Some of you are probably thinking now, I still don't see the point. And again, your privilege allows you not to see that point. I don't want to sit here and make it seem like all of us black kids, black folks come from these disgruntled, tore up backgrounds. But just because one of us personally may not have, doesn't mean we don't know someone in the community that didn't, or did, or had family members that were. I had cousins. Hell, my father was not in our household. My dad, my biological father, was not in our household. It's not like he was doing anything. Since you want to get real, about it, let's get real. It's not like the nigga was doing anything. It's not as if he was busy on a business trip. It's not as if he was over there curing cancer. He just didn't fuck with me. And yet I have so much love for a man I barely know. So again, what makes you think we sit here in these type of realities and then want to see that in our black Superman, our superheroes, and see that on screen? What makes you think we want to see what Wakanda is supposed to be, and you took Wakanda and Wakanda Forever and completely nerfed it, completely downsized it? We were supposed to, from the advertisement, explore Wakanda. We didn't explore Wakanda. What new tribes did you learn about in Wakanda? What new things about Wakanda did you learn besides that they are inadequate? Besides that their security system or their whatever to get into the nation is as easy as that. Besides that they're no longer special anymore because they are not the only ones that have vibranium. What did you learn new about Wakanda? That was the promise, right? Because we're taking T'Challa away, we are going to give you more Wakanda. We're going to explore Wakanda more. You showed me that Wakanda was weak. You showed me that Wakanda is not the most intelligent, technologically advanced nation. You didn't show me anything more. So, yeah, we want to see our stories told positively on screen. Not for viewers' entertainment, not for what you think is going to line pockets. And of course, the average viewer is going to look at, oh, that's so beautiful. I love what they did. All the Black Death. So let's take it back to the ship picture. It's not about the fan art. It's weird that you guys are shipping Suri with a man that murdered his mother, flooded her nation, threatened her people, threatened her, kidnapped her. That's weird, but I digress on that. It's the conversations around it. It's what's being said around that picture and the deeper conversations being had. Now, let's take it one more time to Chad. And what Chad had to say here. Because again, as I've said, he's spoken numerous times.
But it does mean a lot. I know I've seen a lot of young kids, a lot of little Black Panthers, you know, some dressed up for Halloween.
Right.
I even saw some dressed up yesterday for another show that I was on, and it was crazy because it wasn't just Black Panthers, it was white Black Panthers. And that was completely enlightening because, you know, they are looking at a Black man saying, I want to be him, and there's nothing weird about that.
No.
And it's not that it doesn't happen in sports, it happens in other arenas. But when you talk about superheroes, it's sort of a thing that's new, you know.
Come on, Chad.
Because the other Black superheroes that have existed, a lot of them are in support of the white character, as opposed to being, this is the focal point, this is the person I'm watching go through the story, this is the person I want to be. And the thing about this movie is there are a few people that you want to be. You know, there will be some little girls who want to be Shuri, you know, who want to be my little sister in the movie because she's really, really cool. And she has enough strength and joy that you want to be as witty as her. Some will want to be Okoye. Down the line, they'll want to be the other characters too. But you know, I am the lead.
Right. So yeah, that's a responsibility.
I am the Panther.
You are.
You know, and you know, it feels great to know that people will want to be that image as well.
Now, I want to take it right back here really quick, because this is what we are preaching most of the time. This is at least what I'm saying on this channel. That's what I'm saying to people on Twitter most of the time. It's what Chad himself, the guy that we all love, the guy that you guys are making synonymous with T'Challa, what he said himself right here. It's this part.
Heroes that have existed, a lot of them are in support of a lot of those that have, you know, because other
right here.
When
Sorry,
we talk about weird about that.
No,
and it's not that it doesn't happen in sports; it happens in other arenas. But when you talk about superheroes, it's sort of a thing that's new, you know, because the other Black superheroes that have existed, a lot of them are in support of the white character, as opposed to being, this is the focal point, this is the person I'm watching go through the story, this is the person I want to be. And the thing about this movie is there are a few people that you want to be, you know.
That part there, where he said, most time it's in support of the white character. And I don't give a damn what y'all say about Sam Wilson. I don't care what you say about James Rhodes. I don't care what y'all say about any of the other ones in there. It's been in support of the white character. Let's not forget, in 2018, Marvel had T'Challa ready to lead the Avengers. That would have been in the forefront. That would have been like another one there, Battlestar. Like Cornelia said, thank you. Another one. Can we name any others? Heimdall. I've shared this, but again, this is for people that are new. Idris Elba has 15. You know what? Again, I said I'm going to show things. Let's just show it. Let's just show it. Let's just show it. I've shown this before because there's just so much representation in the MCU. That's what Chad's talking about here. That's exactly what we're always getting at. And it's exactly what he's talking about in this moment. So let me show that really quick. I want to come back to the petition because I'm gonna bring it back there. Bear with me one moment. But we've shown these. Let's see. Tom Holland entered the MCU at the exact same time as Chad. Same movie, exact same time. I don't know if they've included. No, I don't know if this is updated. Oh, it is. No Way Home is on there. Oh no, it says coming up No Way Home film. So that's not included. So the time, let's I don't know. Let's say he's at maybe 3 hours and some change here now in the MCU. Okay. Tom Holland has 2 hours and 42 minutes and 30 seconds with 5 films in the MCU. Anthony Mackie, because he's always on the left, has 2 hours, 15 minutes, 6 films, 1 series. And since we have so much of T'Challa, since that's something we've heard from anti-recasters, you got T'Challa, you've got to see him. You got to see him in Infinity War. You got to see him in Endgame. He was in his own film. He was in Civil War. You got to see him in What If. You guys have gotten to see a lot of T'Challa. We got 1 hour, 4 minutes, 45 seconds, and 4 films from T'Challa. But Robert Downey Jr. has 5 hours, 57 minutes, 45 seconds of screen time. Steve Rogers has 4 hours, 4 minutes. We've got Chris Hemsworth with 3 hours, 25 minutes. You've got Nick Fury in 11 films. Same as Steve. 1 hour, 16 minutes, 25 seconds. You've got Don Cheadle, War Machine, who's been in 7 films. 7 films. 1 series. 52 minutes, 15 seconds. But there's so much black representation. Again, I mentioned earlier, you had Don Cheadle come out a few weeks ago and say he wishes that they can learn and dive deeper into who Rhodey is, what Rhodey likes, what ice cream flavor, what side of the bed does Rhodey wake up on, those type of things. The type of shit that you know about Thor, the type of shit that you know about Steve, the type of shit that you know about Tony. Monica Rambeau, she's only been in 1 series, so we'll let that one. 37 minutes. I'm trying to find Mr. Idris Elba. Did I pass him? Michael B. Jordan's Killmonger. 20 minutes. Mordo. 17 minutes. And we're talking about a phenomenal actor here. These playing, taking role. Okay. Again, more black excellence in Lupita. Even though I don't like her recast comments, she is still a powerhouse. 16 minutes. Deny, 17 minutes. Letitia, and this is with, I'm assuming this is, again, this stuff is without like Wakanda Forever and all that. So I would say she's probably at maybe 2:16. But Idris Elba, there he is. Sorry, I'm not scrolling on y'all's screen. I'm on mine. 14 minutes and 5 films. So, when you look at this, and you're coming in and you're saying that all these, there's so much black representation, there's so much this, there's so much that, you're going to get T'Challa, it's going to continue. That's what Chad was talking about there. Anytime that you see black superheroes, it's in support of the white character. As I said, you've got Tom Holland and Chad that entered the MCU at the same time. 2 hours and 42 minutes opposed to his 1 hour and 4 minutes. Was it 1 hour and 14? But we've had T'Challa so many times. And then, let's see, what was that other one I wanted to show? Yeah, let's take it here, actually. Let's go to the petition. This has been since day one. And again, I'm breaking all this down for anybody that's new, because every time I've just been seeing a spike of ignorance on social media from the anti-recast crowd. From people coming in, again, not knowing shit for shit of what you're talking about. But this has been since day one. Hashtag Recast T'Challa is not calling for an immediate recast. We were never saying he better be in Wakanda forever. It was never that. It was simply, wait, whoa, bro. Don't killing the character. Chad's iteration transcends any iteration. Why are we killing the character off? That's what it was. It was coming from a place of, okay, that's fine. Don't put him in this film, but don't kill him. You, with all the source material that you have, you can say he's anywhere, but don't kill him. We are about to be dealing with Secret Invasion. One of that, and that with T'Challa is one of the best stories told. You could say that the body in the casket we saw in Wakanda Forever was a scroll. Now, we know they're not going to do that, but you've got so many, again, as I said, and I think I said this last night too. For the people that couldn't, your writer's room that didn't even think to use the blip in this film, that didn't even think to use, or maybe not even thinking to use the whole scroll theory or anything like that, the King of the Dead, come on, bruh, like what? And then you need new writers in your writer's room. But this is exactly what Nate Moore wanted. This is what he has said. Let's not forget Nate Moore came out in that interview and said that anytime that they get people that know the source material, they consider that a red flag. They want people that, he said, we want people that are going to look at these stories and say, now how can I take that and make it, I don't want to misquote him. But basically people that don't know the source material, that it's new to them. They want those people coming in and writing the scripts, writing the stories, telling the stories how they feel the story should be told. And that's from Nate's mouth. Anytime that I get up here and say anything on this channel, on Twitter or whatever, I'm echoing what the people you're telling us to trust. I'm echoing what they're saying. So it was never, he better be in this tomorrow. It was, take your time, do what you got to do, grieve. It was never being sensitive. It was never being, having no empathy toward Ryan Coogler, toward Letitia, toward Denai, or any of the others. I have a playlist. You can go watch it. I've said many times. I feel for them because they knew him. I didn't know Chad. Was I hurt? Hell yes, I was hurt when Chad passed. But because I did not know him, my feelings aren't as attached to the person. I'm still hurt that Chad is gone. Because I look at all this, I'm like, man, if Chad was just here. But I'm still hurt that Chad was gone. Not for my own selfish reasons. Not because I just want to see him in film. But because that is a black male, a positive black male representation in our community, that's now gone. But it was never, he better be in this. Take your time. Grieve. But if you couldn't come back after 2 years, and if you could, and again, I'm not saying, 2 years is the stopping point for them. No, I'm not saying that. But if you couldn't come back and do your job after 2 years and continue to tell the story that you started telling in the new, in the next film, then you should have stepped away altogether. Then you shouldn't have been in here trying to do this in the beginning. You should have passed the torch to somebody else. This is why I've said reboot the franchise. Because everyone over there, their feelings, rightfully so, are too attached to Chad. Too attached to what was. You know, Nolan planned on having the Joker in his film. The only reason the Joker wasn't in it, obviously, well, 2 reasons here. Obviously, because of Heath's passing. But the second was because Nolan didn't want to rework the story or rewrite anything and try to get a new Joker in before that time. That's the only reason. He was not against the recast because he said, we would have. He wasn't against the recast. Why? Because he understands that this is Hollywood, that these are fantasy characters. As sad as unfortunate as it is as what happened to Heath Ledger, the story goes on. The character goes on. But you have Ryan in his interview saying, no matter how good the actor, this is when he did the podcast. I'm trying to give you a paper trail that you can possibly follow if this is new to you. This is when he did the podcast, I want to say about a month ago. And he said in that podcast, no matter how good the actor, I can't look at them. They won't be Chad. It won't be that real feeling. Something will be missing. So, this idea that people keep having, where people keep coming in saying, be patient, he's coming back. This idea that y'all have that he's coming back, go listen to some of these folks talk. Again, the ones you're telling us to trust. Go listen to what Ryan is saying in his interviews. Go listen to what Nate Moore is saying in his interviews. And if you come back to me with any inkling that T'Challa's coming back, then you're being willfully ignorant. It's no longer ignorant because of lack of education. You're being willfully ignorant. They've not alluded in any way that the character of T'Challa is coming back. Next on here says, recast T'Challa is not preventing anyone else from taking up the mantle of Black Panther. Again, I want to break it down. You got people over here saying, this is misogynistic and it's this and it's that. Let women have their time. Let women shine. This shows me you don't know about the franchise either. This also shows me that Marvel, the MCU that you love, has not taught you anything about the franchise either. Because within the Black Panther franchise in the comic books, within the source material, our black sisters are right there with us. We don't subtract one to elevate the other in Wakanda. You don't say the sisters be damned in Wakanda or the brothers be damned in Wakanda. It is hand in hand in Wakanda. So when you come in saying you're being misogynistic or whatever, no. We are not. Because we understand and we know what this franchise is. You know the song that E-Man had made for Recast T'Challa. There's a line in there that says, Shuri can be the queen of Wakanda. And that's fine. Because again, people say, the comics this, the comics that. Again, tell me you don't know what you're talking about. Yes, she is in the comics, but her brother's there with her. It was never being misogynistic saying that anybody couldn't take up the mantle that everybody seemed to be so worried about. For us, it was never about a mantle because it's never been about a mantle. It's never been about a mantle. It's always been about T'Challa. In the comics, it's not about a mantle. I will show that. Give me just 1 second to pull that picture up here. I've said this many times. It has never been about a mantle. It's not about, in the comics, it's not about a mantle. And people will say, again, people that come in and don't know anything about this franchise or don't know anything about the Black Panther in general, come in and say, well, there are several Black Panthers in the comics. Can you name them for me? I know that. There obviously the ancestors that came, the ones that you saw in the ancestral plane, even though they did not take full form like T'Chaka, the ones you saw in the ancestral planes in the film, and the ones that if you read the comics, the ones you do see in the comics. But the only time let me rewind that. For those saying there are other Black Panthers in the comics, anti-recasters, any of that might be secretly watching or might watch this in a replay. If you're secretly watching, please, in the chat, tell me, without Googling anything, who are the past Black Panthers that you're talking about, since you're so confident? Or maybe you can tell me down below in the comments, in a replay. Since there's so many past Black Panthers that we should be, discussing, who are they? Tell me who. I know who, but tell me, who are they? So, I want to show this here. Since we're bringing up the comics and bringing up the past Black Panthers and this and this and that. The only time that the past Black Panthers are referenced or brought up is to give sight or insight into T'Challa, to help guide or further the character of T'Challa, to dive deeper into the character of T'Challa. It's never, better example, I've used this example. We have a lot of Avatar: The Last Airbender fans here, a lot of ATLA fans, a lot of people that are anticipating the new series that's going to be coming out, anticipating the movie coming out in 2025, all that stuff. Avatar: The Last Airbender is one of my all-time favorite animated shows. When Aang had to make the decision what he was going to do with Ozai. I can't kill him. I can't take his life. What did Aang do? He sat his ass down and called upon past avatars for direction. He called on past avatars for their advice and what they would do. In no way, unless you read Kiyoshi's books or anything like that, in no way did you learn anything about those other avatars. They were simply there to help the character, the main character, on his journey. So yes, there are other Black Panthers and other this and this and that, but the franchise's main character is T'Challa. Just like the franchise's main character for Superman is Kal-El Clark Kent. Just like the franchise's main character for Batman is Bruce Wayne. You take away Bruce Wayne, do you give a damn about Batman? You take away that character, do you give a damn? You take away Peter Parker's Spider-Man in the MCU and y'all all gonna shit. Do you give a damn? Do you care anymore? Then you've got, let's see. I was wanting to show that picture, but for what it's not giving me loading my, it's fine. because that's fine. But then you've got here where it says, hashtag Recast T'Challa is asking Marvel Studios not to use the tragic passing of Chadwick Boseman as a plot device in their fictional storytelling. Okay. I've said this before too. For any of you that sat comfortably during the first 2 minutes and 30 seconds of Wakanda Forever and called it honor, called it cute, beautiful, whatever else, there's a wider conversation at play then. This has been, if that part there has been a fear from the beginning, is that Marvel Studios was going to use Chadwick Boseman's death as a plot device in the film. Ryan Coogler just recently talked about this in his New York Times interview, where he talked about the TJ being a part of the script the entire time, and how it was going to be a summer break film for him and his father. But he also said in that they felt that was the only way. Again, you need better writers. You need a better creative team then. But they felt that was the only way to have Shuri not go after, because she would have been so hurt and angry that she would have went after the person that killed her brother. Again, you need better writers in your writing rooms if you couldn't come up with anything better than that. So that was a fear from the beginning, that they were going to use Chadwick's death as a plot device. Now, I was not present, obviously. You were not present at Chadwick's death, at his bedside when he was taking his final breaths. But if you viewed Wakanda Forever, and you sat through the first 2 minutes and 30 seconds, you were there. That was a very uncomfortable scene. Tears instantly, because it was no longer, it was also the burial of T'Challa, but we were also witnessing Chadwick's final moments. Although Ryan wasn't there, we are still witnessed the final moments. They still morbidly wrote that in. Again, they took the script that Chadwick helped write. They took the script that the man that poured his, I'm sure, heart and soul into that script, crumbled it up and said, no. Let's retell this man's death in the film. And let's charge people for it. But then, here's the kicker. We're going to tell them that it's honor, and they're going to believe us. Because we're Marvel Studios. And to a lot of casual fans, Marvel can piss purple and they'll believe it. And say, oh no, that's natural. Marvel, as I've said before, Marvel's not above reproach. I can have the things that I love in Marvel. And there are things in the MCU that I do love. There are things in the MCU that I'm still looking forward to, even with the absence of T'Challa. But there are also things that, well, so to finish that, there's things I'm looking forward to. There are things I still do love. But just because I love those things does not then mean if Marvel does something that I dislike, like of course with the not recasting of T'Challa, that I'm not going to call them out on it. They're not above reproach. Then you've got it going on here that says, hashtag Recast T'Challa is asking for the portrayal of T'Challa to be allowed to continue in the MCU. That's all. That is it. Only asking that you allow for the portrayal of the character to carry on within the MCU. It was never being any of the things that Recast T'Challa is always accused of being. It was never being misogynistic. It's always been this deep. But it's never been any of those things. Those negative things that we've been called, being compared to the Snyderverse fans. The same fans as I talked about that took Henry Cavill, photoshopped him with a decapitated James Gunn. Fire James Gunn has been trending. What was the one trending about WB? Warner Brothers something? I forgot what it was. All we're simply, because again, with the Superman logic, you still get Superman. You still get Kal-El. You still get those stories told on screen. With Black Panther, that's done. With T'Challa, that's done. Those aren't going to be told on screen. And the only way it's going to be told on screen, and I've said this, and I've seen people asking, Darius, don't you think they're going to bring him back in the... Oh, yeah, that's another one. People saying, well, calm down. It's not that deep. You do realize we're in the multiverse right now. You do realize that we're on our way to Secret Wars. Again, please tell me that they've... anything that's alluded to that you're going to see the character return. Now, as I've said before, it's quite possible, depending on who's directing the film. It is very possible, especially with the chatter from Recast T'Challa. And Marvel feeling the heat from Recast. It's possible that you could see T'Challa return in Secret Wars. The T'Challa. But, as I've said before, I don't, with what Marvel wants to do with TJ, I don't see it being a mainstay deal. And furthermore, I don't want a variant T'Challa. And I can hear people saying, oh God, you just pleasing this guy. Yes, no. I don't want a variant T'Challa. I'm not getting a variant Thor. I'm not getting a variant whoever else, Hawkeye, Spider-Man. I want T'Challa from this universe. I don't want you to have to come in and explain, well, his universe was destroyed, and they lost their king, so since your universe was destroyed and they lost their... As I pointed out many, many times, in Marvel Comics, and it's the same theme in the MCU, the characters of... And I know this is not the 616 universe, but the characters of the 616 universe are supposed to be the best of them. They are the best of them. So I don't want to have a character, a T'Challa, who we don't know shit for shit about, come in and be T'Challa. Now, would I accept a variant if it gets T'Challa back? Yes. Yes, I'd accept the variant if it gets T'Challa back. But there are other ways that you could bring T'Challa back, which still being the same T'Challa that we've already been here with since Civil War. Allow for the stories to continue to be told. That's all we're asking. Allow for the stories to continue to be told. And no, this is unprecedented. This has not happened. This is the only time that this has happened. We've never not seen a fantasy character recasted. So, it's funny too, with the people on Twitter that come in and say the things that they say and whatever. But if you come in and you don't look at this at face value, just look at the hashtag and find it and think it's disrespectful or it's this or that, and you come in, you actually listen to the plight of what a community, a movement of people are asking, are saying. You might be educated and learn something. You might be able to open up and say, you may not still agree. But you may be able to open up and be like, okay, I see where they're coming from. I still disagree, but I hear it and I see where you're coming from. But it's bizarre to me to look at a group of people and say that the thing that they are passionate about is not that deep. I will never look at a group of people and say the thing that you are passionate about, the thing that you are moving for, is not that deep. That's when I ask, to whom? To you, it may not be that deep. To you, it may be one of those things where it's, I don't understand why these people are saying the things that they're saying. But then again, that's what we say here too. Take the time to understand. Have empathy. Stop being so quick to try to refute a point on Twitter when you don't even understand where one side of the community or one side of the conversation is coming from. But be so quick to rattle off your thoughts on Twitter, to tell somebody that the thing that they're passionate about is not that deep. It is that deep. I just showed the videos of Chad. It is that deep. I just showed Jack Kirby talking about it. It is that deep. The fantasy character is tethered to the civil rights movement in our community. It's tethered to wanting to see black excellence. It's tethered to black male positive representation. And what are we seeing? The removal of the character. It's wild. And again, it's wild too for the people that come in the way that they come in. But I definitely wanted to break it down. I wanted to break a little bit of this down. Break down the petition there. Everything that E-Man has so eloquently put out in the past. Everything that a lot of us recasters always say. Address some of the things from Twitter being said. In no way should this character be removed from the screen. In no way can you look at me and honestly believe that TJ is a recast. There's a deeper conversation being had. You know, I was also told, I'm not saying this word for word, I'm sure, but I was also told that conversations on the internet are senseless in the real world. And that was a wild hot take to me. And the reason I say that is because there are real conversations happening in many, many, many different spaces on the internet that translate into the real world. Let's get really real about it for a minute, since conversations like these don't happen in the real world. Let's look at Twitch. Twitch that just passed. Since his passing, and it was very sad. Since his passing, the very real conversations of mental health have been at play. Not that mental health has not been at play, but it's been amped, I feel like. You've seen more conversations being had about checking on your loved ones or this or this or that. So real conversations are happening online every day. And those very real conversations happening online do translate into reality. So the thank you. That, God, I got to get used to that. That scared the shit out of me. Thank you so much for the super chat, KFC. Appreciate that very, very much. Thank you so much for the super chat there. He said TJ was a shoo-in. They fooling nobody. Exactly. TJ was never a part of the plan. It was just something that they inserted in at the very last minute. I don't care what Ryan Coogler has said. I'm sorry. Because the very first time he talked about the script, that was not mentioned. It was, and again, it could have been because he was trying to save spoilers or whatever, but it wasn't mentioned. TJ wasn't mentioned. None of the shit that he talked about was mentioned. Summer break wasn't mentioned. His son at his hip wasn't mentioned. Go back. There's a paper trail. I'm not blowing smoke. I'm not up here just, like, oh, Darius is hating, or Planet Fanatics is this or this or that. They're spewing toxicity and this and this and that. It's none of that, bro. I'm looking at the paper trail. I'm looking at the things that they have said themselves. Ryan Coogler, when he first talked about the script, what he just said a few days ago was not the script. That's not what he said. We did a video on it's not what he said. So, no, you're right. They shoehorned him in. It was never going to be a thing, bro. Never going to be a thing. But, let me see. Go back to, pull that back up. I appreciate that again. But, again, coming in here and looking at some of this stuff at the way it is, at face value and things like that, it's just being able to sympathize. It's being able to understand that this is that deep. This character does mean so much to the community. So, again, when you're on Twitter and you're saying some of the things that you say, just make sure that you really understand where everyone is coming from. Where everyone's coming from when we say recast T'Challa, and why we're saying recast T'Challa. The same way that you can understand the plight of the Snyderverse and not having Henry Cavill, even though Superman's going to continue to go on. The same way you can understand that is the same way you should be able to understand recast T'Challa. And the last thing I'll say too, it's really not hard to comprehend. It's not hard to comprehend why the character is important. It's not hard to comprehend why giving the next young black actor a chance to cut their teeth on a role like this is important. It's bizarre to me that Nate Moore, again I've said not all skin folk is kinfolk, but it's bizarre to me that Nate Moore, being the vice president of production over at Marvel, it's bizarre to me that Ryan Coogler, being the director of the Black Panther franchise in the MCU, are skinfolk. But you won't and can't. Can't from Nate Moore, won't from Ryan Coogler. Again, not my words. Y'all better go look some of this shit up. Not my words. Can't from Nate Moore, won't from Ryan Coogler recast the character. And look at a brother within our own community and change his life. And have him going to be the face that young black men and little black boys are looking up to. Have him be the new face of the character that was created for literal black representation. You know, I didn't show that video, but I also have that video of the two little boys outside the movie theater running up to the poster, the original 2018 poster of Black Panther, being so excited and telling their mother, I'm that one. That one's me. It's a privilege, as I've said many times, because when you all go to the movie theater, you're represented in every avenue. You're represented on all the posters. You're represented in the commercials before the film. You're represented on the snacks, the advertisement for the things to buy in the theater. You're represented on billboards. You're represented in TV shows and sitcoms. You're represented in movies. So for you, it's a little easier, I would say, to understand or to not understand why this is so important to our community, why representation is so important. So, the character of T'Challa, as I said, is very important. The character of T'Challa should continue on screen. And to anyone out there that may be watching this in a replay or whatever else, and you might feel differently, I behoove you to take the time. And I'm not saying watch 20 seconds of a video or watch a 1 minute clipped or 1 minute clipped video on Twitter from a 30-minute video and think that you understand what we're saying when it comes to recast T'Challa. I encourage you to watch these videos in their entirety and understand. Try to understand. And even if you still don't understand, if it's one of those things again where it's like, I hear you, but I still feel the same way, that's fine. We can agree to disagree. But take the time to understand the plight of someone else. Take the time to understand that this is deeper than what you're seeing at face value. Now, that's what I had to say on that today. I will allow anyone that is interested. I'm only going to give it a few minutes to see how many people are interested, though. If anyone is interested in coming in, you would have to call in you can do it through our Discord. If you would like to, you are more than welcome to come in through Discord. I can even have you on the video chat on Discord if you would prefer. And you can say whatever you feel. Because I was also told, let me address that too. I was told that I did address that. I did address that. I said back in 2018, you could have said that the Black Panther franchise was impactful, but it is no longer impactful. If anyone would be interested in calling in, expressing some things that maybe you want me to address, or maybe say something to me or whatever, and if there's any anti-recasters in the chat, I haven't really been, I've been talking, so I don't know everything going on in the chat, but there might be people in the chat that disagree. You want to come in and say something, you are more than welcome to. We can have that conversation. I welcome that conversation. I'm not a texter. I'm not a big, if I got something I want to say, I'd rather talk to you anyway. So if there's something that anybody would like to say, please, the Discord link, I will put it in. If you haven't even joined, if you're not a part of the Discord, I will put the Discord link in the bio. Or I'm sorry, not in the bio, in the chat. You can join and you can have a conversation with me right here on this live stream. So if there's anyone interested, I'll give it a few minutes. If not, then that's fine. I'll be back here tomorrow with everyone else. But if there's anyone interested that would like to come on, and it doesn't have to be anti-recast, it could be anybody that would like to come on and say anything in regards to it, let me know. I'll get you on. Give me 1 second, Nico. Let me put this in the chat for you. Put this link in the chat. Once I put this link in the chat, you can private message me, and then you can video call, and I'll get you in. Bear with me one moment. Let me get this pulled up. Bear with me one moment. And shout out to Tim, guys. If you have not subscribed to Tim, Tim's Talk, go subscribe to Tim. He recently hit 1K, and he's doing a celebration live stream tonight. So check Tim out if you haven't. Definitely support Tim. He's pro recast as well. And I don't only support pro recasters, but he's pro recast as well. Big Star Wars fan like myself, and Tim's a really cool guy. So check Tim out. I'm sending that Discord link now for anybody interested. 1 second. All right, there's the Discord link. So I'll say it again for anybody that didn't hear. Actually, I do want to address what official MG just said. This conversation, yes, because I agree with what you just said. This conversation just really boils down to the lack of representation across the board for black people. And I mean other communities too, but most of us in here black. Right. Other communities too. Right. And most of us in here black, and that's very true. Yeah, so I'll say it again. The link is in the bio there, in the chat there. No, I'm not going to replace it. So you can click that link there. That'll take you to the Discord. You can join. You can click on my name. It's not under Darius. It's under Deshaun on there. You can click Deshaun there. I have my profile picture is Riley from Boondocks. You can click that. Once you click on that, it'll allow you to private message me, and then I will video chat you from there and get you on. Anybody can say anything they want to say. Come in, talk. I'll answer questions. Again, for people that are asking, yes, I've seen that question a lot of times being brought up. We are not monetized at the moment, and the reason we're not monetized is because I goofed and I didn't get something set up with the AdSense. So at the moment, until that is all the way completed with them, we are using our Streamlabs, and we still often use our Streamlabs, but we're still using our Streamlabs. So if you would like to donate anything, you are more than welcome to. You do not have to feel obligated to do anything. But if you would like to donate anything, you are more than welcome to. Click the pinned link up there for the Streamlabs, and you can donate anything. It'll pop up here on the screen, just like a super chat. You can send in a question or comment with it, and I'll be able to read it there on the screen. Let me know, Nico or Tyrone, when you are in. And whoever else wants to call in, and then I'll get you guys on. Where is my Discord? Okay, Tyrone, 1 second. Let me I'm trying to find your message. You sent it to me personally? Let me see. Hold on, I'm trying to get you on. What's your Discord name on here? Okay, there you go. All right, Tyrone, I see yours. Nico, I see yours too. Let me get you on. All right, Tyrone, it should be calling you. It should be calling you. Hold on. Tyrone, I think you gotta. Is it calling you? Because it should be calling. Tyrone, go into the chat that I just sent you, and then video call. Video call me. It's at the top there, and then you'll be able to get on. Or whoever gets it, whoever video calls me first. Nico, if you want to try, I'll send you a personal chat to where you can. Let me see. 1 second. All right, Nico, I'm sending you this too. All right, Nico, I just sent you one. You can try to video. Oh, I think you're in. You can try to. Oh, I think you're in. You hear me? I got you. How you doing, brother? Can you hear me?
What's up?
What's going on?
What's up, bro? How you doing? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I guess I can go ahead and tell you. I can hear you. Can you see me?
Yeah. I got you. I got you.
So right now, I literally just made my first video for my for the series that I told you about, and I guess I'm not gonna get off topic. The layers to this recast the T'Challa conversation that we got going on. The main thing that I see when it comes to this, I guess the situation that we got going with everything that comes to recast T'Challa is mainly that every single time somebody says that we should wait, we're not taking into consideration anybody that's already been like waiting for this character. Am I lagging, bro?
No, I think that there's an
lagging.
echo. There's an echo. Do you have your computer turned up on your end? Do you have headphones?
But yeah, there is an echo. Okay. Yes, I do. I think I kind of do. Yeah. So how do I get this off?
If you have headphones, put your headphones in, and then that'll let you. That'll
Can you
take
hear
that.
me on your laptop? Because I only hear myself.
I can hear you in my headphones fine. There's a lag for whatever reason.
I got my headphone in. I got my headphone. I got my headphone in for my phone.
Oh,
I
okay.
can't see you for video chat, but
Try to let's do it this way. Close this and then just voice call me. That might be better.
okay.
All right. Okay, he's gonna try to voice call and see if that fixes. If that fixes it, because I'm not sure why that there's a delay. Because this is the same thing I used when I met up with Jaded. So. Can you hear me?
I can hear myself. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you on my laptop. I can't hear you on my phone.
Okay. So it's probably still going to be that delay.
Okay, so should I just close YouTube then?
Yeah, try to do that. See if you can make it to where you can just hear me in your ear.
All right. I closed YouTube on my laptop. Now, should I close it on my phone too? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me, or is it still a lag? It's still a lag. Okay. Let's try this, Nico. I'm gonna hang this up. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna do something different. Bear with me one moment, everybody. We're gonna do different. I don't know. Actually, you don't have to have this to do this, and this will be easier. So just bear with me 1 second. Let me do it this way. I'm gonna send the StreamYard's link. Bear with me one moment. All right, I'm going to send this link, and this will be easier. All you have to do is click on the link. Click on that link there if you want to join, and then once you join, you'll pop up. I'm not going to bring everybody in that's going to be in there at once, but I'll bring everybody in one at a time. Let me see if that works. I'm going to pull it up here. Yeah, you guys should just be able to enter. It just let me enter with my... Yeah, so if you just click on that, you should be able to enter. And I can get you guys in. Okay, I see Tyrone. Tyrone,
what up?
How you doing? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
What's up?
Bear with me again. Let me change the setting on this. 1 second.
Yeah, StreamYard's a lot better.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, bet. Great. All right. So everybody can hear Tyrone. Tyrone, how you doing tonight?
How you doing?
That's good, bro. That's good. I appreciate you calling.
Yeah, we're going to get into this MCU garbage.
Right. So let's hear your thoughts. What are your thoughts on some of the things going on?
Like, this was poorly planned out. Like, Nate Moore and Ryan Coogler don't get the characters at all, because Black Panther has a rich comic book history. He has multiple rogues galleries of villains that were underutilized and left with untapped potential, such as M'Baku the Man-Ape. They refused to make him a villain, but turn him into a good guy because of so-called racism. But you still have racist shit in the movie, such as calling Mexicans wetbacks and making niggas make monkey noises. So
Right.
you might as well go all out.
Right.
And also, Nakia ain't even his like girlfriend. This is an ex Dora Milaje chick that's obsessed with him. That they turned into a good guy and a love interest for no reason, and just had him settle for her because they don't even have the right to Storm.
Right.
And I guess when they bring the X-Men into the universe, they'll probably just ship her with either Wolverine or in the comics Forge, because they've been an item for a long time in the comics. And it's just difficult watching both films at the time because like you don't even utilize Claw. You set him up in like Captain America Civil War, and that doesn't even happen at that time frame because you're just rushing through comic book storylines instead of taking your time.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And I would love to see if they brought in like that villain Achibe, because he's like Marvel's equivalent to Joker.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently the Nate Moore and Ryan Coogler, they're not true fans of this character because you would have drawn from all this source material that you have at your hands, but you want to push like a feminist or LGBT agenda before story.
Right. Yeah.
And what I didn't get in those movies was how you gonna have Shuri take a deadly wound to the stomach, but kill off Killmonger even though he got stabbed. And T'Challa has the last like bit of heart-shaped herb of juice within his system. So how can he die from a mysterious disease or cancer when Wakanda has the cure for all known deadly diseases? So this doesn't make any sense.
Right.
And then on top of that, most people don't notice that Shuri was snapped out of existence for 5 years along with T'Challa, so the throne was unprotected for 5 years. Why wasn't that addressed in the movies?
Right. That too. These are things that they just it's again it goes back to the whole him wanting to hide his son and the plot holes and the things that you negated from your first film. It's like, or not just from your first film, just the current stories being told within the MCU. It's like they took Wakanda Forever and said, story that's currently been told be damned, source material be damned, we're gonna tell our own story. Well, it's not like they did take Wakanda Forever and say, we're gonna tell
they pre-planned this shit. They pre-planned it.
Yes.
Like before this man died, they was already talking about in talks with saying, oh, we're gonna have Latinos included into the movie and make one of the white tiger characters into a Latino guy trying to invade Wakanda. Then they changed it over to Namor.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there was a bunch of crazy shit that they've done with this film. That's why I asked on Twitter today, how has the Black Panther franchise within the MCU impacted you outside of no, I would even say go ahead and include BP1 in that, but how has it impacted you, like from BP1 to now?
You wanna know something that would be a great idea? All they have to do is just soft reboot the franchise with this Secret War event and just magically erase all that crap that they had in the previous movies and just explain it as, you remember the character Onslaught?
Right.
Well, how that happened, it was an event where it utilized like all of the Marvel universe, but the Avengers, from the Guardians, all these characters that are non-Fantastic Four or Spider-Man or X-Men titles, and they was placed into a pocket universe of their own called Heroes Reborn. And they could have used that as like their basis of saying, oh, the reason why the mutants and the Fantastic Four are just now appearing into this world is because of Franklin Richards and Nate Gray.
Mm-hmm.
It's that simple, but people over there in Marvel aren't thinking. Like, you giving us like Multiverse of Madness about some all new different character named America Chavez that nobody asked for, but they did it anyway because they wanted to have some LGBTQ representation. And originally we were supposed to get a story about Mordo and the villain Nightmare, but it turned into this crap.
Right. Yeah, no, Marvel's got they've got a lot of course correcting to do for Phase 5, and hopefully they can deliver that. But it always, for me, as I always say, it's going to come back to the But T'Challa, because there are just so many stories that are going to be told, like Secret Invasion, like Secret Wars, like
right
Fantastic Four.
Right now, over there at DC, we got 3 Jokers in the wake of Heath Ledger.
Right.
Like you got Barry Keoghan playing Joker. You got what's his name, Joaquin Phoenix, and Jared Leto.
Yep.
So what's the problem with recasting T'Challa with a variant, or just not even acknowledging this Black Panther 2 movie ever even happening?
Yeah, brother. Yeah, I'm telling you. And it's the people out there that are saying, oh, well, that's not the same. This person died. This character died. Well, Heath Ledger, I think people a lot of time forget Heath Ledger did pass. At least anti-recast it. So it's
nobody was anti-recast with him.
Right. And they still recasted his character, so there's no difference.
Yeah, because Batman v Superman and Zack Snyder wanted to fucking kill off Robin with that Death in the Family storyline for no reason, because you want to rush through all of DC's greatest hits rather than slowing down and building a fucking world where Batman exists with metahuman sidekicks and supernatural shit. No, let's keep him grounded in realism.
Right.
And another thing, they're fucking up another masculine black hero, Blade. Like, there's rumors of him being replaced with a daughter that he never had in the comic books, and he's a solo act for most of the time. But he also tends to team up with the Midnight Suns and the Night Stalkers. Well, no, they wanted to make it into like a A4 MCU agenda where everybody gets replaced with a female equivalent.
Right.
Then you don't have any horror elements, no action sequences, and then you piss off your recast, which you steal from the Netflix casting with Mahershala Ali instead of getting somebody else that Wesley Snipes approved.
Yeah, no, brother, I completely agree and hear you on all that. I appreciate it. But no. I'm gonna do some more of these call-ins for sure. Not just today. We're gonna do this more often now that I figured out it's gonna be better through StreamYards. But yeah, brother, I appreciate you calling in, Tyrone. Let me get Nico in here.
I have more, but I'll let you go.
Yeah, no, I know all y'all do, bro. I know that we could go on this for all night, but no, I do appreciate you calling in for sure.
All right, peace, brother.
Peace out, brother. Nico, if you want to go on ahead and get in here, we can get you in here. Chat, you guys can hear me. Okay, good. Yeah. No, he was on a roll. Tyrone was on it, bro. Tyrone was on it. Nico, if you want to click the link, or if anybody else wants to call in, I'll put that link back in. You can click that link. All you have to do is click the link and I'll get you in. Click the link, make a tag name for yourself, and I'll get you in. I'll probably do about 3 or 4 more of these. And then, like I said, we'll close tonight, but then I'll be back tomorrow with the rest of my group. It should be me, Kellen, Q, Levon tomorrow, and then after that, or tomorrow, we have a lot to be talking about with you guys tomorrow. But as far as tonight goes, I did want to get on and say those things, but I wanted to hear some more from you guys too. There are some people I hope do call in, because I'm wanting to hear your voices, wanting to hear what you guys think. But like I said, I'll give it a few minutes. If nobody else wants to call in, that's fine too. If Tyrone, if Tyrone wanted to be the only one to go, that's fine. Nico, I think Nico still wants to get in. Don't remember exactly though, but I think he still wants to get in. So I'll give it a few more minutes. Have some people who try to get in if they want to get in. Let's see. Let me see here. And I appreciate everybody that's been here too. Like everybody that's been watching tonight, people that have been coming and going, people in the chat that have been keeping the chat going tonight. I appreciate all of you guys being here tonight. I really, really do. Yeah. Let's see. I hate when this thing don't let me scroll all the way up. All right, Nico, I see you. Dre, I'll get you in right after Nico. All right, Nico, brother, this should be a lot better.
Yeah, so I'm using my phone, but I got my headphones in, so I'm pretty
Okay.
sure you can see me.
Yeah, I can see you. I can hear you good.
All right, cool. So I was just listening to what Tyrone was saying, and I actually do agree with him. I didn't hear everything, but I was gonna put my 2 cents in to where I know that for I guess when it comes to T'Challa and Black Panther, the one thing that I was looking forward to was seeing Storm. And when they brought in Nakia, I was kind of confused because I didn't know who the character was at first.
Mm-hmm.
But the main thing that I got from actually starting to read Crystal Priest run, the little snippets that I did know that they had, was that Nakia is a villain. And she's a young villain at that. She's a very young villain.
Right.
Because when T'Challa is literally on the when they go back to Wakanda, he finds out that Nakia killed, I think it was not really killed, but like assaulted, was it Monica Rambeau? Or was it somebody else?
I believe it was Monica.
It was Monica. Okay, so it was Monica Rambeau. And so when he finds that out, he literally kicks her to the curb, even knowing and noticing the like little mental glitches that she had.
Mm-hmm.
And so when that came about, that just like segued in everything with him and Storm, even though that was already going on. And the one thing that I wanted to see, and hopefully I can get on with you guys tomorrow and tell you about my character, even though I introduced it on my channel.
Yeah. Go ahead and do that for everybody.
Okay. My character's name is Ndala. It is his actual American name is Nicholas Johnson. I have officially, I'm about to post a video on my YouTube channel now. It's a fan fiction series that I hope to one day actually put out there for the MCU if the Lord is willing, because I do know things are going crazy right now for Marvel.
Right.
And I just want like good storytelling to be the main goal of everything that I do. And so but yeah, my character is being mentored by T'Challa, and he's actually in the when it comes to like the blip and everything, he survives the blip because he's in Wakanda for the 5 years that he's there. But T'Challa has groomed him to a point to where he's able to run Wakanda during the 5 years that T'Challa was gone. And so the question that I heard on here was who was protecting the borders of Wakanda. That's where my character comes in, and he's being mentored not only by T'Challa. Well, he's mentored by two people, M'Baku, which I don't understand how that happened, but he's mentored by M'Baku and Queen Ramonda. More Queen Ramonda than anything, because M'Baku is part of a whole nother tribe.
Right.
And so the whole entire thing that I have taken away from Black Panther 2, when I went to go see this movie, I went to go see it like you, to try to create content and try to, like, I guess, I don't want to say get closure because we already all of us went into this movie knowing what was going on. But the main thing that I wanted to take away from it was one, how did they do everything, and how did they actually supposedly respect the Chadwick Boseman, even though they didn't. I was not there for the funeral scene. I got my ticket at 11 p.m. I think the movie started like right after, and I missed it, which I'm glad I did because I probably would have walked out and not even came back to the movie. I would have saw that.
Yeah.
Seeing Shuri, I saw you say that Shuri was like scraping at T'Challa's supposed casket and stuff like that. I wouldn't have been able to handle that because I'd have been like, why in the world are y'all doing this?
Yeah.
This is not something that y'all make money off of.
Right.
It's just disrespectful. And then on top of that, when the premiere happens and I'm seeing Derek Boseman's face, first of all, why would you invite him knowing you're gonna try to throw this in his face? Like it's not even a funny thing anymore. You inviting him, you inviting his wife, you inviting all these people that you know spoke out against y'all for doing this, and y'all just did it anyway.
Right.
And when I saw his wife on the carpet, and then I saw her in the 2020 special that they had, this is us first. This is us seeing her first come out. Like, I think what was it? A week after the film came out.
Right.
And we're seeing her just now speaking on everything, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, she's been seeing everything that what's been going on with her husband's face being plastered everywhere. It's not just being plastered here or there, it's plastered everywhere.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure she's thinking, why in the world are y'all doing this? I can't even greet my husband the right way because y'all want to make money off him. He's still dead.
Right. Yeah, no, and that's exactly what they did. What did she say in that special? Because, see, I didn't watch it.
When I actually watched it, like I caught the very, very end of it, but I saw like the interview snippets of it for when she was talking to Oprah. Not Oprah, but oh shoot,
Whoopi.
What's the lid? Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg. And so I saw where she was saying that, I can't say it word for word, but she was actually saying that she feels what's been going on, and it's been a thing where she's been trying to keep a positive mindset. And I understand what she's saying by keeping a positive mindset because anybody who's grieving, who's been lost a loved one, is doing that. And to the point where we're saying if Ryan Coogler and Nate Moore could not handle the loss of Chadwick Boseman the right way, they should have stepped back and let somebody else come on. I don't even mind. And the difference that I see when I saw Civil War T'Challa and Theo Butler, my man Theo, has always said this. The T'Challa that we got in Civil War was the actual comic book accurate T'Challa.
Yes, it was.
Because if you see the dynamic between Ryan Coogler's T'Challa and the Russo brothers T'Challa, they actually went and did Christopher Priest T'Challa because he's always been charismatic.
Right.
And it's funny because if they would have said, look, we're going to let y'all go on, let y'all grieve, we're going to bring in the Russo brothers, they would have probably been like, okay, we're going to have to introduce Namor the right way with this one. Right. They probably would have got the film rights from Universal officially, and we would have had a little accurate Namor, because when I saw that they were bringing in Namor for the second movie, my mind went straight to Luke Evans, who played Dracula. He would have been the perfect Namor. And if you just see the dynamic between Luke Evans and Chadwick Boseman, that could have been like an on-screen, I say, in my opinion, it would have been on-screen gold, because you have two actors that, even though Luke Evans has been around longer than Chadwick Boseman, you have someone who is literally has that the range that he has for everything that he's done that can be added to a movie, and it's just basically storytelling, and that's what it all comes down to.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct. You know, one thing that I've said too is, if the Russo brothers do indeed come back and do Secret Wars, which I'm kind of convinced that they are, because it's just something they've said for a long time that they want to do, they would handle bringing T'Challa in Secret Wars and handle it well.
Yes.
You know, something we've all kind of said over here is that scene, or not that scene, that the portrayal of T'Challa within Civil War is my favorite portrayal of him within the MCU, because it's accurately done. Like just the everything, you know, like the what's it called when he said when Io was talking to Natasha. Yeah, I don't care. I love that. I love that. Like all of it, bro. Like it's brilliant. So yeah, that would be really cool to see. Really cool to see them do. But I completely agree with you there. And I want to go back to the what you said about Ndala, your character that you're creating. I think that's super dope. I think that the storyline and everything that you've got working and that you've created your own character is super dope. And the rest of us too, I think everyone over here, even in the chat, highly encourage you to continue to push that, regardless of even if it's picked up, and I'm hoping, and we're hoping for you too that it does get picked up by someone. But even regardless if it doesn't get picked up, we need stories like that told, regardless if it's coming from Marvel Studios or a big studio company or not. These are stories that we need told within our community. We need to see positive black representation. If they're not going to give it to us, then we need to go within our own community and have people within our community giving us those stories. So I commend you, brother, and I definitely salute you for that, because that is powerful work that we definitely need to be seeing. So definitely.
The one thing that I wanted to say was when you said that, both Theo Butler and Daryl have said that to me, and the one thing that I have been developing besides just my own character for the Black Panther franchise was stuff that I've been inspired by when it comes to like fantasy, Chronicles of Narnia, Maleficent, all those other characters that are, even though they're within Disney and even stuff outside of Disney, I've grasped and held on to stuff that I've read from childhood that I know would be, I've basically said put my own spin to it.
Right.
And the stuff that I've seen online where they say that there's been projects in the past that have been greenlit but never come to fruition because either somebody has an agenda or they don't believe stuff will make bank. If Black Panther does not say anything from 2018, regardless of how they did the story, all black cast is profitable.
Right. Oh yeah.
And for us to sit here and say that we cannot do this, and it's about to be 2030 in a couple of years, and you only have one movie that speaks to an all black cast besides Tyler Perry, besides all the other stuff that we know from our own black community.
Right.
Like seriously. What is it going to take for us to come together as not just the community, but people that know these things, and one, for us to fund it ourselves and not let anybody else fund it, because that's what it's going to take. And I understand that BT did a Black Panther animated series. Well, not really. Well, it was a 1-season series, but they actually told the actual story of T'Challa. It was basically a Batman-esque story. That's what it was. And so when you have that and you have other things that we know to be true within our own basically universe, there's so much stuff that I've seen on Twitter, on other social media platforms, where they are making comic book stories that are not related to Marvel or DC. And I'm thinking to myself, why can we not uplift our own
people, right,
in our own projects.
Right. And that's because it's kind of like Chadwick has said, man, it's debilitating, it's frightening, because the conversations are out there in Hollywood. These actors and writers and directors feel like they have to compete against their other brother, because Hollywood is only seeing the one. They don't. It's like, that's why Chad said, don't just say there can only be one of us, because that's frightening. It's debilitating, and the most important thing he said is it pins us against one another. They don't want us to be strong. They need us to be divided, because divided we're weaker, but stronger or we're stronger when we're together. So no, brother, like I said, I say keep doing what you're doing for sure. Because I look at the Star Wars community. You look over, I don't know if you're how big of a Star Wars fan you are, but you look over at Star Wars Theory and his channel, and what Theory is doing with the video game effects that he's making his movie off of and everything. There's a lot of work that Theory's put into it, because it's been a couple years since we've seen the first part of it, and this is going to be the second part of it. He's putting a lot of work into it, but I commend him for that, because as I've said so many times on this channel, we're getting to a point where if creators aren't going to give us what we're asking for as the fans, and you're asking for me to buy this and line your pockets with my money, then I'm going to go to somebody like you, who is creating things that I want to see, and I will invest in that. I will invest in you rather than investing in a multi-billion-dollar company that doesn't give a damn, coming from Nate Moore, about what I have to say. So yeah, brother, I agree. I say keep up what you're doing, and anything that we over here at Planet Fanatics can do to help. I know that you sent me the notes there, but anything that we can do over here to help promote or anything like that, please let us know. We are on board.
Please, if you have questions about anything, I made my first episode, like I said. I'm going to be doing my research when it comes to certain characters that are already in the franchise, because I'm gonna just, if you can imagine, my character get with Okoye because she dumped Wakabi after what he did to T'Challa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I made that, and I have a whole bunch of other stuff that I like to share with you guys. I'm not gonna hold you for long, bro. I got some more work to do. But
yes, sir.
But yeah, thank you for having me on. I look forward to having you guys. Hopefully, even though this is my first time on, hopefully I can probably get on with the rest of you guys probably tomorrow or sometime in the future. But yeah, like I said, I love y'all, and thank you for the time.
Yeah, brother, we'll definitely get you back on here. Yeah, I'll get with you, because I got some big things planned that I got coming up, and there's a couple of creators I would like to have on. So yeah, I'll get with you for sure.
All right, thank you.
Not a problem. Thank you.
All right.
Is Dre still waiting? I know, Dre, that I don't know if you're still waiting. Okay, I still got Dre in here, and I've also got, who else is in here? I'm sorry, that the glare on this thing. Usai. Okay. Bear with me. Usai, let me get Gray. Oh, is that Ashera too? Okay. I got Ashera. Ashera, please stay on. Let me get Dre in first. Hold on. All right, Dre. What's going on, Dre?
Yo, what's up, man?
I can hear you. How you doing? Dre and Jay. Hey, that's my guys. Okay. How y'all doing?
Doing good, man. What about you?
Oh, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm blessed. I'm here.
Okay. No, I just wanted to comment on like the whole TJ thing, because to me, I've always had a problem with it since. I've had a problem with the movie in general. Like,
right.
I'm a bit recast. Me and my brother honestly had this debate on our channel. He's a big MCU fan, so cool with the decision they made. Me, I personally, like, from day one, was not with it.
Right.
But when it comes to the TJ, the thing that gets me is that it's like saying, or it's like one of the Batman actors dying and them moving on, him having a kid with Selena Kyle, and that kid being named Bruce.
Right.
When we all know in the comments that Bruce has a kid with Talia.
Right.
That's there's one version I think he has a kid with Selena and it's a daughter. But if I give Bruce and make him that Batman, then he's not the same Bruce that witnessed his parents dying in the alleyway. He doesn't come with that that T'Challa had with seeing his father die, T'Chaka,
Right.
So that's something that bothers me moving forward, because it's not the same T'Challa. And T'Challa in the comics has been through Secret Invasion, through Secret Wars, through Civil War. Like, he's been through it all. That's why he's such an important character.
Mm-hmm. Right. And those are stories that other stories we need told on, his other stories progressed, and not only that, I say other stories as if we got any stories. All we got was, the cameos and what we got in his first film, but we don't know T'Challa. We need those stories. We need his stories fleshed out, and we need him telling his own stories. And it's sad and unfortunate that it looks like they are taking those stories of T'Challa from the comics and just going to give them to TJ.
Exactly. And I've always had a problem with people saying, well, he has Nakia. He had this version had Nakia, so there was no way that he was gonna get with Storm. And I'm like, okay. And when Andrew Garfield had his Spider-Man movies come out, he had Gwen Stacy at first. We all knew Gwen Stacy eventually was gonna die, and he was gonna marry to be the next person in his life.
Right.
Same thing with T'Challa.
Right. Coogler said it. Right, and Coogler said it in that New York Times interview. They had already planned to have Nakia boot up with somebody else anyway, so that argument is now put to rest. And anyway, as I said in that video, you could have done that and then started her down her villainous route. Had her turn into Malice, and then that way you can usher in Storm because you've got a T'Challa there, all that kind of whatever. There's ways that it could have been made to work. Other than people saying, oh, no, that doesn't work, or you can't do this, or he's already with Nakia, or whatever. Nah, do you know how many times, as we've talked about so many times, how many times things get changed in the MCU at the last minute? Like the Doctor Strange deal, when Doctor Strange was supposed to show up in WandaVision, changed that at the last minute. The Hulk in Wakanda helping fight in Infinity War, changed that at the last minute. I mean, we can go on and on. So there's many things that they could change to this already muddy situation in the franchise.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. And me and my brother, we had this argument off screen about how they did T'Challa in the beginning, incorporating Chadwick Boseman's death, which just did not sit right with me. It kind of turned me off from the rest of the movie after seeing that scene. So he brought up this point about Top Gun, Top Maverick, and them incorporating Val Kilmer's real life sickness that he had, with the throat cancer, I believe,
right,
and incorporating that into the Top Gun movie, right? And my argument to that is, to anybody out there who thinks that, is that when you look at Top Gun and when you look at the character of Iceman Krasinski, there was no history of Iceman before Val Kilmer played him.
Right.
That is Val Kilmer's character.
Right.
He has a say in what goes on with that character, and he's alive to say it.
Right.
But when it comes to Chadwick Boseman, there is a 50-year history of T'Challa before Chadwick.
Right.
So anything you do with that, it's different in that medium. And it's kind of the same thing with Paul Walker in Fast and the Furious. You can retire his character. You can have his character move on. Why? Because his character's not, well, I won't say his character's not important, but Paul Walker made Brian O'Connor. There was no history of Brian O'Connor before Paul Walker.
Right.
So,
yeah, no, that's the point.
I just thought I'd come on here.
No, go ahead.
Make some points, Oh, no, I was just saying, I just thought I'd come on here, just make some points, for anybody who believes in that way as well. And honestly, man, I respect your channel, bro, because, I've been put on recently, but everything you've said, bro, has been, spot on correct.
Well, I definitely appreciate it, bro. I really do. And I was actually going to reach out to you guys because, like I was just telling Nico, there's some things I'm trying to do, not all recast related, some fun things, but just some things I'm trying to do to, get engaged more with content creators, and I know that you guys are, so I wanted to get with you guys and have you guys come be a part of something I'm going to get together soon. So I would love to have you guys on for sure. I definitely appreciate you, the kind words that you just gave for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. We would both love to do that, man. So just anytime, hit us up. We'll be glad to do that. So again, keep doing what you're doing, bro, because it's great content. I
appreciate you, bro. I really do. And likewise to you guys. Everybody, make sure you go check out Dre and Jay. Make sure you check them out. They have a channel and they do reactions. They cover news and things too. So make sure you guys check them out. All right, bro. Yeah, I appreciate you coming on. I'm gonna try to get Yusai in here, and then I'll get with you guys soon about having you guys back on.
All right, bet. Appreciate it, man. Take care.
You as well. Thank you. All right, Yusai. What's going on? What's going
Not much.
on?
Not much, man. Finally, you got the name right, by the way. So big ups.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah, a little nerd thing. It actually comes from like an old main character from a Yu-Gi-Oh series, and I had that since I was like a kid. So I
Oh,
just stuck
dope,
with it, never changed it back.
dope. How you doing,
Yeah,
bro?
I'm doing great, man. Like, it's kind of funny because I found your channel like probably like a couple months ago, right before Black Panther Wakanda Forever came out. And I remember I felt like I was in this echo chamber being like, yo, I'm pissed about this movie and the decisions that they make. Like, you follow certain YouTubers and people are like gung ho about, oh my gosh, they're doing it. They're honoring and respecting Chadwick. Like, our girl Grace was like the biggest one of it.
Right.
Like, hearing stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, it's really difficult for me in order to explain to other people that don't look like us that this. Can I swear?
Yeah, I swear, bro. This is a.
Cool. Yeah, all right, I'm trying to be like, all right, how? Because I'm a performer. I dance and stuff like that. So
Right.
I'm in this room. You kind of got to read it and be like, can I really be myself right now?
No, be yourself, bro. You're at home.
All right. But when you hear people say, certain people that don't look like you say some shit like that, you're just like, yo, you have no idea like what you're even stating right now. The fact of the matter is being like, well, they're gonna kill T'Challa and you're gonna have this kid. I remember that being like, no, please God, don't do that. Don't do that. Then I remember going to that theater and this woman was sitting next to me. And me and the girl I was with, we were kind of already over it throughout this whole movie because we're like, yo, this movie's dry as hell. Personally, I know that you fuck with Eternals or whatnot. I don't, but I would watch Eternals 3 times more before I watch that again.
Right.
And I was like, yo, like there's nothing that really connected me to this movie, but this woman next to me was loving it. And she was like, oh my gosh, this kid is so cute, whatever. I'm like, yo, Marvel's really doing this thing right now.
Yeah,
and
bro.
You have it perpetuating other people that's not really thinking about the actual positive impact, because the argument that I really hate to hear every time is, oh, you don't want Shuri to be Black Panther? Oh, you don't want women to get a chance? Man, you know what's crazy? I wish that they had a movie with a strong black male lead and strong supporting characters that are majority female that could hit $1 billion wait a second.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
The formula has been proven already. And it's
Right.
not about and it's not about detracting and taking out the representation for those characters, because T'Challa is somebody that's hella important. I had no idea he was way saucier Batman when I was a kid, because I didn't really, DC was running a lot of the animated stuff back then. So like the DC AU is like the most undefeated thing in my
Right.
personal.
I agree.
Yeah, but Marvel had like Avengers Earth Mightiest Heroes, which is like an underrated fire show, and they put respect on Black Panther's name. But I was like, oh, yo, he raw. Like he's
Right.
hella raw. So when you see the depiction in Captain America Civil War, you're like, wow, yo, this guy he's crazy. Like he's somebody that you're looking forward to seeing, him be represented on screen more, because this is a character where my niece or my nephew or like other kids around can be like on the playground being like, yo, I want to be T'Challa.
Right, bro. Right.
Yeah, it's not. I don't want to
Right.
be Black Panther, because at the end of the day, nobody give a on some real stuff. Nobody give a fuck about Black Panther. It's literally you care about the character that makes it.
Character, bro. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you want to make sure that representation is out there, because you can see yourself within that person. And I think it's become a little deflated now, where obviously Henry Cavill is no longer Superman, and you have all these people caping for him to do it. And I'm like, yo, you guys are bitching about this, but at least you have a character that you know is going to come back again.
Right.
Like it's
Right.
not like yeah,
Yeah, bro. They get their character back, but yet, it's funny though, because it's like I was saying earlier, how we get the recast crowd gets compared to the Snyderverse crowd, and that's just so wild to me, because of the things that I see the Snyderverse crowd doing and saying, and like we haven't put hashtag fire Nate Moore, like that hasn't been trending, or hashtag or weird morbid pictures of Ryan Coogler's decapitated. Like, we're not doing that, bro. All we're simply saying is put the character back on screen. Like, that's it. So yeah, bro, I agree.
No, I rock with you on that, and I think that that's just funny, because people will try to conflate both arguments together when it's like, no, it's way different than that. I'm sorry, but you're always gonna have a Superman. Or the best argument is, oh my gosh, wait, he's eventually gonna come back. Marvel's gonna do this, they're gonna do that. Like, yo, no, I just turned 30. Black Panther came out when I was 27, and I'm like, yeah, like I didn't get this representation for this long or whatnot. I remember being hyped for Star Wars The Force Awakens and seeing Finn, and I was like, all right, cool, they're gonna make him dope at the end of this or whatever. And then the rest of those movies happened, and I waited, and I was like, all right, Last Jedi did him dirty. Then I waited more, and I was like, yo, he literally got Black best friend. And
Yeah, yeah.
and he was simping hella hard, and it made me feel bad. Cause I'm like, yo, I remember watching John Boyega in Attack the Block, and I'm like, you wasted a talent like this
Right.
for a character like that, and for us to not get this representation or be able to voice our opinions on the fact that they're taking away a character that has showed up, that came out the gate whooping Bucky's ass throughout the whole film.
Yes,
Every
sir.
time you seen Bucky and T'Challa, and like every time you seen them on scene, T'Challa was giving this man the hands.
Every
and they
time.
established a film prior that Bucky was a problem. So to see him go to, when they went to Ryan Coogler's hand, basically get his ass whooped throughout the whole movie, was like, man, all right, I see what we're doing here. And it sucks because you can hide behind the connotation that the director and a lot of the creative team is Black behind it. It's like, man, if anything, I really do hope that we get a chance for us to see T'Challa sometime soon before I'm old as shit. You never know.
Bro.
Life is fickle. You never know what can happen. We just all afraid to get to a certain point. But I just think that it's weird that it's now become so much of an argument that people believe that the actor is bigger than the actual role when it comes to some of these characters. Because I'll make this argument. If you really care that much and like, oh, it's so disrespectful that anybody else can take the role of T'Challa after Chadwick Boseman, then where's the argument for why is the MCU still going, and why are these characters that Stan Lee and Jack Kirby created still happening on screen and they're going? Don't they have the biggest say when it comes to this stuff?
Right. Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, everything you're saying is on point. It is definitely it's definitely, I mean, I run out of things because it gets so exhausting talking about, the shouldas, the couldas, the wouldas, what it should be and what it's not. And I look over at, Nate Moore, Ryan Coogler, and just Marvel in general, and the anti-recasters, the people saying, oh, you had your time with the character, now you're getting TJ. And it's those people saying that, that's the recast. And it's like, no, bro, that's not the recast. That's Marvel trying to tell you that that's a recast, but they know exactly what they're doing. They are just going to push forward their agenda with the character that they wanted to introduce, instead of just giving T'Challa back. So it sucks, bro. It sucks.
Just from one last point too, and one thing I will say, that if I appreciated one thing about that film, and that's me stretching the word appreciate to an astronomical level, the one thing that I really did appreciate was, man, it would have been so dope to get a film like this after giving enough time with T'Challa to see Shuri really come into her own. Because I don't think Letitia Wright, she's not the problem. She did a really good job.
She's not the problem.
Yeah, she did a really good job for me in that role. And just watching it be like, oh, we're just going to hopscotch this, because it's like, yo, let somebody be attached to Letitia Wright's character. Guess what? There's nothing to hang on to, because you're just going to give it to, TJ next. And again, I don't care. His name is T'Challa. But just like the person on before me said, he doesn't have the same connections to any of those characters. Like, he doesn't know Clint's name.
Right. Right.
Small things. It's literally the small things like that. It's not about the name of the character, because I could be named after my dad, and that would mean I got all his relationships. Doesn't mean
exactly.
I have his, I don't have his things. I'm my own person.
That's a good example. I was just, my grandmother lives. She lives in Texas, so we FaceTimed on Christmas, and she was just naming all the things that I'm not of my father. Oh, your dad didn't have. He didn't have the goatee, he cut it, or he didn't always wear hats, and things like that. I told her, well, we're two different people, Grandma, and that's the exact same thing with T'Challa and TJ. They are two completely different people, two completely different characters. One is a character with 50 plus history. One is a character that you made up yesterday. So It's like, and like, to take it to the point that you said about, people waiting so long for this character that were waiting 50 plus years. That's a point that I make all the time, because we have so many of older viewers that are like, that have been here waiting for this character so long to come on screen, and then you dangled him in their faces and then take them away, and then not only take them away, say indefinitely, we're not going to be recasting the character. And then you got the people saying, be patient, he's coming back. As you said, we don't all have that time to be patient. Not every life is fickle. We don't know what's going to happen from one minute to the next. So yeah, bro, everything you said, though, on point for sure.
Nah, and again, I really appreciate all of what you're doing with your channel. You definitely got a subscription from me. As soon as you went off the first time, like one of the first times I heard you, I was like, hey, get it. Like
That's why I-
like he obviously gets it made sense, and you know, you've inspired me to be like, all right, cool. I'm not gonna be a Twitter warrior no more because these niggas will not get it. And
they won't, bro. They
it's
won't.
hey, yo, I really appreciate your time and whatnot. You'll always have support from me. If you do one of these again, I'll hopefully call in. And thank you for being mad cool, bro.
Yeah, bro. No, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on, Usai. I appreciate it. And then dope. Some profound shit you said too. So I appreciate it.
Thanks so much, man. Have a beautiful one, and you know, much love to everybody out there.
Yep, same to you, bro. Take care. Do I have anybody else waiting? Is Ashra still there? Oh, Ashra's not there. That sucks. I wanted Ashra to be there. Yeah, Ashra, if you go to settings, and then go to audio, and then you can change the audio to what it needs to be under mic. If once Ashra calls in, Ashra will more than likely might be my left. Tim, appreciate Tim being here. Tim, I was just telling people, check you out. I was just telling people to go to your channel and check you out. You were doing your 1,000 stream celebration. Everybody in the chat right now, congratulate Tim on his 1,000. And if you're not subscribed to Tim, go subscribe to Tim. So I appreciate you being here, Tim. Everybody congratulate Tim on his 1,000. Congratulations, bro. I mean, I've already told you congratulations before, but again, congratulations. I'll give Ashra a little bit of time, or anybody else that might want to come in, but this will be my last one. Send MT an invite. That would be, I would love it. I would love that, D-Stizzle. Love it. Thank you, chat, for all the congratulations to Tim. That's dope. Grand Regent Thrag, I saw you up there say that you're working on a novel too. See, and I love that. I love that we have that everybody's being so I love the fact that we are in such a creative time in society, like where people are just eager to be creatives, eager to create things of their own. Because again, if the studios aren't going to give it to us, we're going to have to get it from somewhere. People are going to have to start stepping up and being creative and things like that. And I saw what D-Stizzle was saying about how Theory is what'd you say? He's it's gonna be akin to Arcane animation, and bro, that's dope. That's why I'm excited to see this. And if you've got other creators like that can do things like that, I mean, look at Shamook that did the deep fake stuff for Luke in Boba Fett. He was a YouTube deep faker before anything like that. Now look at him. So that's what I'm saying. Like you got things can really pop off. You just got to believe. You got to get in there. You got to do it. That's the first step, is getting there and getting it done. Ashra, I'm going to give you like 3 minutes. I'm going to do this again, though. We're going to do this again. I really appreciate everybody that called in, too. It's super dope. Super dope. Appreciate everybody that's been rocking with us tonight, been hanging out. I hope that something was said from somebody that either called in or from myself tonight that either enlightened someone or gave clarity where you might have lacked on this subject. I hope that I said some things that were on par to some of my viewers and their thinking for Recast T'Challa and things like that. So yeah, guys, it's been it's definitely cool. Definitely cool. Grand Regent Thax, I purchased Clip Art Studio and everything, doing my own animation too. That's really dope. That is really dope. Producer Henry, my friend Henry, that is our producer. He works on 3D animation type deals, like 3D animation. So that's what he does, and he's pretty good with it. Ashra, that sucks, bro. I wanted to have you on. I wanted to hear what you had to say. More than you know. That's it. Nobody outside of Ashra. He's having mic issues, so he might not be able to get on this time. But anybody else outside of Ashra want to join in? I'll link that one more time. I'll link it one more time if anybody wants to. Brian said maybe next time. That's hey, bro. That's cool. Maybe next time. And guys, I swear to you. So the games that we're about to start doing, like I told you, I'm doing that Family Feud style. I'm just waiting for the shit should be here on either tomorrow or the 31st is when it's going to be here. That's when we are about to, like, next week. Next week you can expect the Family Feud type style game stuff with other content creators. I'm going to get 2 teams of different content creators together. They're going to go head to head. Just like Family Feud, the surviving team will come next week, or not next week. Will come I think we'll do it week to week. We'll come the next week to compete against the next team. So it'll be a week to week thing. I'll host it. I'm more than likely gonna wear a suit and everything. I want to be as immersive with this as possible. And I've got 2 different books. I've got 2 different type of trivia type books centered around the stuff that all of us talk about. So it's gonna be pretty fun. Yeah, working on it as we speak. It's okay, Ashra, bro. I'll get you in next time. It's fine, bro. And Brian and anybody else that might want to come in. Oh, wait. I think Ashra's right there. Hold on. Ashra.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's going on, bro?
I'm good. I just want to correct one thing about what Nico said. It wasn't Monica Rambeau that basically, what's her name? Nakia was trying to kill. It was one of the Monicas. It was Monica Lynn.
Oh, Monica Lynn. Okay.
Yeah, because I don't remember who was at that bed. I think it was Peter Ross that was on a bed, and they went to see him, and the girlfriend at the time, that was Katara's ex-girlfriend, the white girl, that was like Everett Ross's boss, he walked out, and then you hear the scream, and then he's on the floor dead.
Yeah. Okay. Now that, okay. See, I said Rambo too when he said Monica Rambeau. I was like, I think it was Monica, but no, you're right.
It was, yeah, it's one of the Monicas.
Yeah. How you doing, Ashra, bro? I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. I've been. Yes, tell me your thoughts, please.
When it comes to Ryan, man, he needs to shut the fuck up like his cousin Steve Urkel. His cousin Steve Urkel, he has completely shut up. You notice that we wanted him to shut up. Like every time more would open his mouth, shut the fuck up, mate. And after the movie came out, he completely shut the fuck up. Now it's Ryan that's talking.
Right. Right.
I'm like, I think they see the writing on the wall that this movie is not making $1 billion. When I saw the trailer, people were crying their fucking eyeballs out. One dude commented, this movie could make $2 billion easy, and I fucking laughed out loud. I mean, it won't even make $1 billion. It won't even make $1 billion. And like, you're missing $500 million. And the thing about these anti-recasters who don't want T'Challa back is accepted the narrative. There are even people who are comic book readers who have accepted the narrative T'Challa should be gone because they're afraid of being called a racist, sexist, a phobe, and all that shit. So they go along with the activist crowd.
Right.
So I'm like, we're gonna lose quality. We're gonna lose T'Challa over a bunch of activist crowds who basically saw the opportunity for Shuri to come up. And I feel a bunch of these people say, oh man, Shuri was the Black Panther. And then, you know what comic they're holding up? All these other comic books that nobody gives a fuck about Shuri.
Right.
Shuri as title. Not
Right.
Shuri like the comic book where I think Theo was making like breakdowns of power and all that shit. Those are the ones that matter. But the ones made with Shuri, there's like these stories don't matter. You can basically say they're non-canon, like John Ridley.
Right. Yeah. That's one of the things too when people come in so hot on shit. That's why I was saying earlier when people would be like, there were other Black Panthers before T'Challa. Okay, name them. But they can never name them because they're just repeating shit that they've heard. It ain't like they've ever read any of this.
I've never heard one say Theon once. They keep telling me Njobu. I'm like, who the fuck is Njobu? I'm like, where the fuck does the name come from? And Theo had some kind of fucking troll. It looks like a baseball mascot, a black dude. I'm like,
oh yeah, yes, I saw that.
Can Ryan Coogler be any more fucking black or a black racist right now? You telling me that's where the name comes from? Kevin Feige didn't check that out.
Right.
He didn't fact check with it and Jobu came back. Like, I would have loved if they wanted to make Theon like Njobu, right? Just call him Theon and have him be T'Challa, Michael Killmonger's character be his son. I don't give a shit. it's fucking Sion. It's not Njobu. I don't know fucking Njobu. And there's a point where I made a story in my head that Njobu, not Njobu, Sion, he was either like, he wasn't like not the little brother, but he was the eldest brother. And he basically fell in love with an African woman, and you know how Wakandans are about non-African women. They don't like the fact that y'all is walking around with Storm. He's from another country. He's a mutant. They don't like that.
Right.
And he got kicked out because he was seeing another woman, and Jobu himself. I mean, I know they do the LGBT shit. You could say, and Jobu was gay for T'Chaka. He done fucking outright did it, so he got rid of Sion, had his ass deported from Wakanda. He couldn't be with T'Chaka. T'Chaka was already married to another woman, so he had to hide his homosexuality. So he had to have a woman in America with Killmonger and so. I'm like, I can make a story better than Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler's coming out there, he's like, oh, here's the thing with Wakanda. Here's the sex script that should have been, that could have been, that would have been. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You made your fucking choice. You made your fucking choice. You couldn't grieve. I mean, when Chadwick Boseman died, I grieved.
Right.
My grievance was quick, and I'm not a funeral guy. My grievance was quick. I understand Chadwick Boseman, the human being, the child of character. He predates Chadwick Boseman's death. He predates Chadwick Boseman in general as a person. How the fuck are these two related? I can understand people say that Henry Cavill is just Superman, this guy's just Superman, but you're telling me you want just one guy as a Superman? You don't want another guy portraying him?
Right.
That's your guy?
Right.
I mean, I guess I would say the blame goes back to Reginald Hudlin for even creating Shuri or even bringing the Dora Milaje into the story, because that shit got turned over his head fast by activists. They saw women with bald heads and they said, nah, we're going to go full misandry on Black Panther. It's our time now. Fuck T'Challa.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, bro. And that's why I wanted you. That's why I was hoping you got your mic working, because I was like, yeah, get Asher on here, hear what Asher has to say. But that everything that everybody's been saying is it's been straight facts, because we get it. We know these characters. We know this character. We know this franchise, and we know what it should be. And we're not going to settle for anything less. And the fact that people keep coming in telling us, oh, it's over, move on, get over. I think I saw somebody in the chat even say. Somebody, I've never seen that name. Somebody said, move on, get over it, or whatever. Again, it's for me. Go ahead.
I saw someone, but I don't think they were being like an anti-recast.
Oh, okay.
They're really being genuine. I don't remember the name, but I did saw something that would sound like an anti-recaster, but he seems like being genuine. He was basically in the conversation with people.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, it's one of those things though where it's like, it's for me over here, as you guys have heard me saying, I know it's the same for you and others too. It's not going to stop until the character's back on screen. The character is back on screen, not your replacement or whatever else it is you're trying to do, but the character. So yeah, bro.
You really think TJ was not in the script? If he was in the script in the get-go?
No, hell no.
I mean,
No, I don't.
He was. But, because he said, but from what E-Man said, it was a story about grief. So let's give him the benefit of the doubt that TJ was in the script. And the way the first script, I'm loving it better than Wakanda Forever right now.
Right.
So the first script, you have Nakia has married her ass to a black Haitian. And I'm from Haiti, by the way. I don't like the fact that he basically likes the revolutionaries and pluck them into a fucking black stereotype shit. That got me mad.
Right.
That got me mad. I'm like, you're going to take Keith Sandberg's fucking name and put him on fucking T'Challa. The fact, I mean, do they have even juniors in that?
Nah, bro. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, now he's a baby daddy. He's a baby daddy whose mama is basically married to some dude, but he effectively he's a deadbeat dad. I'm not gonna fucking say it. He's a deadbeat dad. That's what T'Challa is. T'Challa's been under attack for a very long time, ever since his marriage with Storm was cut off. And here's the thing I find weird. They tried to basically imitate the story of Avengers versus X-Men. If you go back to Civil War, how many of the Fantastic Four were against registration?
Mm-hmm.
It started with Sue and Johnny, because Johnny got hurt, and he was at the bar. One of them hit him. One guy hit him with a bottle.
Right.
Gwen was on the fence. Ben Grimm didn't want anything to do with it until one kid died, a black kid died. He's like, fuck it, man, I'm leaving the country. And the United States tried to fuck with Ben Grimm to go join the registration because they wanted to take his shit from him. He's like, oh, motherfucker.
Right.
But at the end of the day, Ben Grimm joined he joined the people who were against the registration. So you have 3 members of the Fantastic Four versus Reed Richards. What happened to that marriage with Reed Richards and Storm? Did they fucking broke up? Did the marriage destroyed? No, because it's a white couple.
Right.
We don't destroy white couples. We destroy black couples.
Right.
Same thing happened. Same thing happened with T'Challa in Avengers vs. X-Men. You have Aurora on one side of the X-Men, not on the side of the Avengers. They fight. The fight ends soon with what happened with Namor. You probably would think they would say, okay, we're going to try to send shit to Sue and Richard and have them work it out. No, you have to tell us some bullshit because I didn't have sex with you. The marriage is dead.
Right. Facts, bro. No, that's facts. That is facts.
Why couldn't they work out their marriage? Why couldn't the black couple work out their marriage, but the white couple did?
Because that doesn't sell. Yeah, right.
It doesn't sell for some white folks, but for black people, we want that.
Yeah, we wanted that. Exactly.
We don't want to see Nakia and T'Challa. We know who fucking Nakia is. My knowledge of comics is not that big. I'm more smaller than more you guys with my knowledge with that. But Nakia's a fucking villain. She's never changed. I've watched other versions of a Nakia that's like a kid version, not like an adult version. She's still a villain. Still written as a villain. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
And Baku, villain. Why were we changing all these villains into good guys? The Skrulls. You see how fucked up Secret Invasion is gonna be with the Skrulls who are seem to be good guys in Captain Marvel? How the fuck is that gonna work?
Right. Nah, bro, I agree. I completely agree. Yeah, they got it's got to be. They got to do something, bruh. They really do. They got to do something to get T'Challa back in here. As you know, you listen to things I say. I'm not hopeful that that's going to happen because they've not shown me that that's going to happen. But I do have that small hope that hopefully we will see him back. And I'm not talking like hopefully in 10, 20 years. Nah, bruh. Like we got to see him back before BP3. And I'm hoping that that's what they do. So yeah, bro. Did I lose you? Are you there? Did we lose Ashra? I think we might have lost Ashra.
I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
My phone basically it went off. Yeah, because I don't think T'Challa's coming back. If Ryan Coogler is involved in this, it's over. I mean, you can say the Black Panther franchise is dead. I mean, you benched your best player, and your movie can't even make $1 billion?
Yep.
It's
you benched your best player.
It's sad to fucking watch, and we're on the 45 days to get for the movie to go on Disney Plus. I read online that Disney wants to stretch this shit to 2023.
Yeah, bro, they are. They're trying to stretch it. Like that. Like they're trying to stretch it for the box. That shit ain't. It's done. It's done. It's done.
Avatar is eating into its fucking lunchbox. It's taking every fucking food in the fridge for
yeah. Yes.
I mean, when you were talking, you said it made $1 billion. I was like, what? Made $1 billion? I checked it up. Like, yeah, it made $1 billion today. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, and that's in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, it made $1 billion. Wakanda Forever is done. It was never making $1 billion, and anybody that ever thought it was making $1 billion was smoking dick, because it was never making that. It was never doing that.
Here's the funny thing I see with articles: they keep bringing Wakanda Forever, but they keep saying, "Oh, Wakanda Forever broke a milestone, 700."
Yeah, yeah.
It's in there. It's in there for 5 weeks, 6 weeks. It went beyond the first Black Panther, but the first Black Panther, it has competition. It broke right through the competition.
Right.
I mean, some dumbass movie basically kicked it off. Like it didn't last that long. What was it? Some dumb movie where some robots with that guy who was in Star Wars. What was his name? He played Finn.
Oh, John Boyega?
Yeah, Pacific Rim. That was the movie. Yeah,
Oh, Pacific Rim. Yeah.
Yeah, not not the Black Panther movie off, but then a week later it was off the fucking first start.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm like, I mean, Marvel. I want to see what Marvel Kevin Feige says if they ask him the fucking question. Do you think it was a bad idea to kill off T'Challa with Chadwick Boseman's fucking body?
I would love to hear what he has to say about that.
Uh,
Will he
I mean,
ever
it's
come
fucking
out?
ridiculous.
I don't know.
I mean, he would come out, but it has to be through Ryan Coogler and Nate Moore because he has to have two sellouts to fucking, protect him as a shield.
Right.
Because
Right.
there are people who call Kevin Feige the head colonizer in chief because they love using the word colonizer.
The head colonizer in chief.
Yeah, the head colonizer in chief. I mean, people know this movie's bullshit. I mean,
Yeah, bro.
I see people defending this movie. Oh my god! Like, if you tell somebody the movie is shit, they quickly have a new defense. Is, why are you trying to get rid of my enjoyment? Nobody fucking said anything about their enjoyment of the movie. I said the movie was shit. If you enjoyed the movie, go ahead. Good for you. Oh, I said the movie was bad. I mean,
Right.
there's been bad movies of MCU movies that made a lot of fucking money. Not that made about Captain Marvel made a shit ton of money. Should have never made that money. Basically crammed in the middle, Endgame, and I think it was Endgame, and basically whatever movie was there. It's ridiculous. Like, these movies are not. They're not written well. They're written by a bunch of Hollywood people. The fact that basically you can't have comic book writers basically work right for you. I mean, they make a living. Don't even have a hobby of basically that. You're telling me that's a no? Well, that's a giant red flag. Man. You're thinking your ship is sinking right now.
Yeah, bro.
I said somebody better buy Marvel back.
Yeah. That they got something. Something's got to happen. One thing I think really has to happen. Do I think they're gonna do it? Hell no. But something that really has to. They got to reboot this entire thing. This entire franchise has to start over.
It's like TOB said when it comes to the John Reedy run. Put it as a what if. It never existed.
Yeah. There you go. Do it as a what if. It never existed.
It's in the ether somewhere as a what if comic, but it never existed.
Right. Yeah.
There's some elements you can put on the 616. This happened, that happened. Okay, but you changed the story. I mean, John Reedy's like the worst writer I've ever seen. Like, he's not even fucking Ta-Nehisi Coates is better than him. I'm like, god damn it. Ta-Nehisi Coates, fucking stop that fuck.
Yes.
His writing was better than his. I mean, at least he tried to put T'Challa back together with Thor.
Yeah, bro. Like I said, there's a lot they gotta fix, a lot that we want to see as fans be changed for sure. But right now, like you said, like I said, I'm not seeing it. I don't think they're gonna do it. They have what they want to do. They have their agenda. Right now, we're just the loud recast crowd.
I heard somebody in the chat said he was asked to take down his post. Who was it? I think it was Cornelius. He was asked to take down his post because he called out Ryan Coogler for his racist bullshit. Stereotype shit. And they asked him to take down the post. He said no.
That's wild that somebody even asked him to take down his post. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's one of those salty motherfuckers. You tell the truth, they can't handle it.
Yeah, bruh. Hell no. Don't come on my page and tell me take down my post. You better block me. You don't want to see it. What the fuck? That's weird, though, too. It's like I said, people finding themselves in spaces that you clearly don't care about. Like, if you don't care, it's like this dude I was talking to today, he told me, he said, the Black Panther franchise is the most impactful franchise in the MCU. I said, okay, yeah, please tell me. And he said, well, I don't have to explain that to you, blah, 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 blah. And I said, that's because you can't explain it to me, bro. Like, what do you mean? Like what? I'm not about to sit here and do this round and round circle with you. Like, you can either explain it to me or you can't. And I know you can't because it's not the most impactful franchise. Like, you could have said that in 2018, but you can't say that walking out of Wakanda forever. Like, nah.
A lot of people say it was cathartic. I've been wondering, man, like, what the fuck is going on in Cooper's head? Like, you could see he has a little bit of resentment for Chadwick Boseman for the lines that he put in that movie about how he was being secretive. He was too proud to tell everybody that he was sick. And then you have the heartbeat shit. I'm like, what the
Man,
fuck?
bro, yes, that
I'm
for
like,
me.
why the
Yeah.
fuck do I have to live the fact that he's dying with a heartbeat?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just put the guy in a fucking frozen casket like you did in what was it, Civil War? They froze Bucky's ass.
Right.
They froze Bucky's ass in Civil War. You tell me you can't put him in there, or just
Right.
like in the comics, they put him in the fucking chamber to help him heal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? It's like Wakanda basically has been shown that all that bullshit they say about being advanced in the MCU, you can't say that shit anymore. They got their ass handed to them by the fucking Navi of Wakanda forever. The Navi beat their asses, and the real Telecons are doing shit in Avatar.
Right. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Yeah, Ashra. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I gotta have you back on because I know Trey is gonna want to talk to you too. So and Q. So I gotta have you back on sometime next time we do this for sure. But I do appreciate you coming on. I definitely wanted to hear what you had to say.
Trey would probably ramble more than I do.
Yeah, bro. Trey will.
He's like your fucking twin.
Yes, Trey will keep you on here all night talking, bro. So. That's funny. But yeah, bro, I'll have you back on for sure. I definitely appreciate you coming on because I wanted to hear what you had to say.
Okay.
Well, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Take care. Okay, everyone. We had our talk with our last one with Ashra, and I knew that was going to be a good time. So I appreciate Ashra coming on for sure. He always has a lot to say anytime that the recast is even brought up. So I definitely wanted to get him on. I appreciate everybody else that came on, like Dre and Jay. I appreciate Tim stopping by. I appreciate everybody in the chat. Neres, I think you were first in the chat, so I'm going to mention you. Gray, Cornelius, everybody here. CGZ, D Stizzle, Andre Ware, Marvelous D, Grand Region Thrag, Misa, I know you had to leave. Check out earlier. Appreciate you being here. Phallus45, appreciate it. Justin, appreciate you being here. Brian, SP Flash, Raymond, appreciate you being here. Raymond, have you been here all night? Because you've been quiet, if so. J-Rob, appreciate you being here. Maybe I was just going on and just wasn't paying attention to chat. Kenny, appreciate you. Double M, appreciate you. Sir Yuri G, official EMG, appreciate you being here. Am I missing anybody? Horace Bond, appreciate you being here. Cornelius, appreciate you being here. Stamina, appreciate you being here. Nico, appreciate you calling in and being here. K-Dot, appreciate you being here. Professor the Film Fan, am I missing anybody? Dexter, appreciate you being here. Network, appreciate you being here. Groovy, appreciate you. And Usai, appreciate you coming in. Ruben, appreciate it from you as well. Valley Superb, appreciate you. Tyrone, I appreciate you being here. Is that everyone? And that is as far as it's letting me go up. So I appreciate everybody being here tonight. Antonio Films, appreciate you being here as well. So yeah, we appreciate everybody being here. This was a good one. Xavier, appreciate you being here tonight as well too. Jessica, appreciate you being here. Thank you. The Dre, appreciate you being here too. So yeah, guys, this was a fun one. Appreciate you guys being here. We'll be back tomorrow. I don't know, unless something comes out, no recast news tomorrow that I'm aware of, but we do have some big things to talk about with you guys tomorrow. So make sure that you guys come back tomorrow for some good, juicy news, and it should be pretty fun because it'll be 4 of us here tomorrow. So as I always say, thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. And I know it's going to be on my solo screen, but it's not going to be me. I knew it. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you guys for the ones that called in and had things to say. Thank you for everybody that was engaging in the chat. Thank you for the super chats or the Streamlabs super chats that were sent over. Thank you for everybody that, liked this video and that was viewing, whether you liked it or commented or not. We appreciate you being here. So thank everybody for being here. And as I always say, like, subscribe, share with your friends, and we will see you guys in the next video. Recast T'Challa, as always. Love you guys so very much, so very much. Thank you. And I will see you guys in the next video. Enjoy your nights. Be safe.